We are live.
There we go. Chris Korb, how you doing, buddy? TheHORRORmaniacs. The hell is that?
Chris became a member today.
Really? That's
So
awesome.
come in tonight, Chris. Thank you so much. I don't know that he's here yet. I think that's just showing that he became a member.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Become a member. That's all right. I got one of my own. You say we can do this shit because nobody's here yet except for us. We got 4 people.
I can't believe, like,
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Thank you for becoming a member, buddy. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And thank you for showing up tonight. We appreciate it. It's going to be a fun night. We got a lot of surprises.
I was just going to say, I can't believe, like, this is it. I feel like we've been building to this. And
yeah. And more so, we watched some of the movies more than once.
Hey, Dan. Dan watched the Animal trilogy, I'm guessing. He watched the first 3.
Yeah. First 3 movies recently. And
Dan, how would you rank them? Those first 3.
I'm pretty sure I know how I would rank them.
I noticed that I noticed, like, when people do that with those the Animal trilogy, they're varied. I've seen like each one get love. So
I think the 4 Flies one is the one that nobody really talks about. They're starting to now, but
hey, Jack. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Jack? A lot of people didn't talk about 4 Flies. I mean, everybody was always talking about Bird and Cat of Nine Tails. People either like it seems like, or they don't.
I think Cat got a lot of attention early on in the DVD days because Anchor Bay put it out, and it was like the first one to really get a release. And then Bird got released by VCI.
Yeah.
And then 4 Flies came much later. That was like the lost Argento film for a while.
Yeah.
So I think that's has a lot to do with it too.
I'm so lucky I went that day. Woohoo! I found some good stuff.
Chris, yeah, we were actually just talking about that. Nosferatu's coming out on Blu-ray a week from this coming Tuesday, so we're going to grab that on the release date. We're going to watch it, and then we'll probably do our 2024 ranking 2 weeks from today, basically.
Yeah. Well, we got some movies to watch, so
yeah, but that'll be nothing. We don't have too many left to do.
Okay.
No, we don't. We only have like 8 or 9 movies to do.
That's half of an Argento list almost.
They're
not as long though.
Yeah.
Lizard in a Woman's Skin. I love that movie. Bird, Cat, 4 Flies.
So basically in release order.
Wow. That's very interesting.
Interesting.
Oh, geez, I did it, didn't I? I did it.
You did.
That's very
Dan, hopefully you can stick around and see how we rank them.
Hey, Verge.
Hey, Verge.
Yeah, I was going to give mine, but I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, it kind of gives away a chunk.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm not going to give them away right now. Yep, Fulci. I love Lizard in a Woman's Skin. It was very different for me. And it was one I liked right away when I first saw it.
That's the one.
There are some things I like better, and I like Fulci's fantasy better than Dario's for the most part. But I like Dario's Gialli more than Fulci's.
Yeah, I think overall I'm gonna go with Argento for his. Just because there are some Fulci movies, like I'm not a huge zombie guy, so if at the end of the day, am I going to choose to watch another Giallo or a zombie movie? I'm probably going to go with an Argento Giallo.
Yeah, but his Gates of Hell trilogy, good Lord, Those movies are
But
awesome.
even still, I'm just saying on
Yeah.
the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
like how you and I, like if we were to do a Fulci and an Argento ranking,
Oof.
I'm pretty sure Argento would take at least 3 of the top 5 for me. So that's kind of how I figure it.
Wow. I think, yeah, I think 3.
Yeah.
But I think in my top 2, if it was Fulci, it would probably be House by the Cemetery and City of the Living Dead. Yeah. They would have to be up there. I mean, I do like The Beyond, but top 5, I don't know. And the weird part is we've watched that together more than any of them.
Yeah, like I'm looking at my top 5 of Argento right now, and
yeah,
it's a strong top 5. I mean, for
yeah,
me, so it's going to be hard to infiltrate that 5.
yeah. I got a strong top 5 too.
Jack watched Tenebrae again last night. He was getting prepared for this stream.
Oh God, Tenebrae is so awesome.
Dan said he was hoping he would like them more.
He was hoping he would like them more. Okay.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm not sure how long it's been since you've watched it, Dan. I would say try to watch the shorter version of Deep Red and see how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason why people love that one.
Yeah. I don't like the long cut, and I know you don't really like the long cut. I mean, I like it as a film.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like it. I much prefer the shorter version.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. New York Ripper. See, that's a tough one too. I don't know if that would make my top 5, but it would definitely be in my top 10.
It would be my top 10 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And The Beyond would probably be in my top 10. So, 6 through 10, maybe heavy Fulci. I don't know. That'd be a tough one. We ought to do that sometime. Combine the two. I mean, that would be really tough.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this was tough enough.
Yeah, this was hard. I mean, we say it all the time, but I really do think this might have been the hardest ranking we've done.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we kept saying it. I mean, I had no idea how.
I mean, even right now, I'm looking at it. I'm like, am I happy with this? Like, it's tough.
Today was the closest I could get it, and I'm satisfied for now. Not satisfied with a couple because I had to put them lower than I wanted to, but realistically, I couldn't put them any higher. So
that's the thing. That's the thing, and I think what was so tough about it too is you almost have like maybe like 3 eras of Argento.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You have like the early Gialli, you have like the colorful films with like Suspiria, Inferno, Deep Red, those kind of, Tenebrae, that sort of era. Then you have like the newer era of Argento.
The 80s, the later 80s, I guess. Like Trauma and Sleepless. Was Sleepless in the 2000s?
That was not, in Trauma was the 90s. So you're looking at the 90s into the 2000s.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm saying, like the later Argento. So
Phantom of the Opera was 1998, if I remember correctly.
Yes, 97 or 98, I think, yeah.
Oh, and just to let you guys know what we're going to be doing and not going to be doing, because I don't think I got into it, but we are not going to be talking about The 5 Days, which is his other film that's not related to.
Yeah, we're only doing horror because it's kind of hard to rank one non-horror movie to all horror. Yeah, it would really be doing it a disservice because I feel like it's not really an accurate ranking when you do that. Because it's like
we're also not going to be doing his television series. However, we are doing the 2 for Master of Horror because I mean I consider them films. I think you do too.
Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah.
It is different.
And then if you get into the Italian TV stuff, then you have to look at his other series too of the
Yep.
shorts, and
Yep.
we're not going down that rabbit hole.
Nope.
So
Well, I will, but nope. I mean, I'm not
well,
going to do it tonight, but
I'm
yeah.
saying not tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not. Delirium is good.
Jack said he started to watch Argento's Dracula last night, but watched Tenebrae instead.
You missed a lot of good nudity.
We'll start our ranking in around 9:15.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna do our ranking of all the movies from least favorite to favorite, and then we have about a dozen categories that we're all gonna do, like our favorite kill, favorite female lead, favorite male lead, that sort of thing. But we're gonna start with the movies, make our way. I believe it's 22 that we're ranking.
Yep.
So we're gonna,
Me too.
we'll start with our least favorite and work our way to our favorites, as we normally do, and we'll talk about them along the way. I think what we'll do, the sort of speeding along to get to so we can get to the categories, is we'll only talk about the movie when we get to it on our ranking. So I'm not like if your last place movie is a different last place than mine, I'm not gonna give my thoughts on it at that moment. I'll wait until it comes up in mine.
Huh? What if we have the same last place?
Well, then we can talk about it. That's
okay. I wanted to take the doubles out that I had. I show my Blu-ray instead of the Anchor Bay, even though I do like this Anchor Bay a lot.
I didn't know you were going to be showing them.
Yeah, I figured, why not?
You said the other night, you're like, fuck that, I'm not doing
it. Here's the 5 days, which I still have yet to finish. And it's not that it's not good. It's just that I think I was in the mood for it tonight. The night I tried to watch it. So Sleepless is really good. As a matter of fact, I will go on record as saying, and I think Joe feels the same way, there is not one film of his that I do not like on this list.
I agree. Jack, just wait till we get to it. We're going to be coming up on it. I think we're going to be talking extensively about Dracula.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to talk about Dracula.
That's the one that's going to get some attention from us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, why don't we start off? Age Before Beauty, so you can start with your last place.
Damn. Already with the shit. Damn. All right, my last place, and this is going to be a pain in the ass if I have to go through these every time, so I probably shouldn't.
Why even bother?
But my last place is the Stendhal Syndrome.
Oh, you changed it.
I did.
All right, well, that's my last place too, so we can talk about it together.
I did not want to put this as last place. Sometimes Joe and I were talking about this before. We have preconceived notions of where we should put things sometimes, but I think we both threw that out the door when we decided to do this ranking because it was hard enough to judge them on how we liked them.
Mm-hmm.
I do like this film. However, there is one part that really bothers me, and that's when she takes the pill and they show it going down. I think that it just bothers me. I don't know. It always has. It's stupid. It looks out of place. It's terrible CGI, and it never should have happened. I understand he was experimenting and trying something new, which I have no problem with that. But that part just irritates me. Now, I do think his daughter was great in this. Not as good as she is in some of his other films, but he gave her an outlet to really shine in this one. And I think she did a fairly good job. It's a little messy, but I do like it. What do you think, Joe?
So, yep, that's my last place as well. It's like I didn't want to put it in last place because I do like it. And I would say it's one of his more intriguing films.
Yes.
Like there is stuff about it that you almost have to be in the right mindset to kind of sit and dissect a little bit. Yep. So it's not the matter of me not wanting to do that. It's just that Is it a movie I'm going to watch a ton because of that? I feel like it requires your full attention, your full commitment.
Yep.
The Stendhal syndrome does, as opposed to some of the others.
Because it jumps around too.
It does. I feel there's a lot happening in this film, and it almost feels like two movies in one. I feel like there's a turning point, like halfway through the movie where everything changes, and now you're looking it's almost like a sequel to what the first half of the film. So,
oh my god,
that's how it feels to me.
That's exactly how I felt about it too.
Yeah. So I think because of that too, it also makes it feel longer than it is. And that's not necessarily, I'm not saying that's a bad thing because it is a good movie, but I just think it takes a different kind of commitment than the rest of his films.
22, Jack.
Jack, 22.
Last place of 22. Yeah. It does feel like two different movies. You're 100% right about that.
It does.
And it's very weird because I watched it. I think this is my fourth time. First time, I didn't like it that much. Second time, I really enjoyed it. And then it seems like it either goes up for me or down. And this time, it just wasn't. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it as much. So, but yeah, Stendhal syndrome.
Yeah, Chris, that was one of the things behind the scenes. All right, what do you got next at number 21?
Number 21, I have the Masters of Horror. I believe this is the one. The Black Cat is on this. Isn't it on this 13?
Nope, the Black Cat is something different.
Okay, it must be on 2 then.
Black Cat is Two Evil Eyes.
Oh yeah. Two Evil Eyes. That's right. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is wrong with me? Here it is. Okay. Black Cat, Two Evil Eyes, 21. I'm okay.
All right. So, why? How come?
Oh, I like Harvey Keitel. I always have. It's hard to root for anyone in this, and I get that that's the plot with him and his significant other, but I really don't like her at all. There's just something, they don't have any chemistry, and she's just not likable. So it's hard to feel sorry for him putting her behind that wall. I was surprised he didn't do it before, to be honest. So that's just my take on it.
Okay.
Your number 21?
Number 21 is Phantom of the Opera.
Damn. That's harsh. Hey, do me like that, Joe.
I mean, I like all of them. I like the Stendhal syndrome too, but I do like Phantom of the Opera. It was a movie I hadn't seen in a long time that as we were watching, it was like, oh yeah, I remember this one. I remember this scene. It was, all the memories came back vividly. So it was one that I do enjoy. You have a very invasive nude scene of Dario Argento in it. I really like what's his face? Julian Sands as the Phantom. You get all the rats, you get some cool scenes in this.
Yeah.
Great scenery. I love like the whole, his phantom lair. But again, compared to the others, is it what I'm going to watch a ton? Probably not. It's been a long time since I had seen it. I like it, but I just compared to the others. What's that?
Not in a hurry to revisit.
Yeah, I mean, I do like it. It's not even like that. It's weird. It's like I can watch it right now and enjoy it if we weren't doing this. It's not like one of those things like I don't feel like watching it again. I would just probably choose to watch the others over it on most days. So for me, it's 20. I do feel like it's underrated though. I mean, it gets some crap. We actually we also filmed a positive spin video for it, which you guys will see a couple months from now by the time it comes up. But since we watched it for this anyway, we figured we would do a positive spin because it definitely deserves one.
So I wanted to comment on something Jack said. I heard he was difficult to work with and he wouldn't wear the mask. I am actually happy that he didn't wear the mask.
Yeah, I like that.
I'll tell you why. First of all, they didn't disfigure his face, so there's no reason for him to really wear a mask. Now, I don't know if that was decided afterwards or whatever, but to me, that makes it different from the other Phantom of the Opera movies.
Exactly.
It's not his look that scares. It's his living in the sewers with the rats and everything. That's what scares people, that he's been down there for so long and that he's making all these things happen in the opera. So I liked it, though. I don't know. It's just for me, it was different, and I appreciated that. So
It adds to it too, like the fact that she's clearly like attracted to him.
yes,
So you add the mask there. It's always one of those. I know it's a classic story, but it's like, what's going on here? Like,
yeah,
what is, you know what I mean? Like this figured guy with this mask and this beautiful woman. Whereas in this version, it's like, okay, it's Julian Sands and Ozzy Argento. Like, it works.
that's another way it differs, because they always see the mask, and when they see underneath the mask, they're completely frightened and they're not attracted. So yeah, you're right. It does. It sets it apart that way too. So okay,
Number 20.
Number 20, I have. Hopefully, I don't mess this one up. For number 20, I have Pelts. I cannot find it. It's around here somewhere.
Okay.
But yeah, I do have Pelts from the second season of Masters of Horror. Okay. Like I said, it's down here. The reason why that is, for me, I love Meatloaf in it. I think he's great. Of course, we get a lot of good gratuitous nudity from the hooker, who Joe told me was actually supposed to be Ozzy Argento. Yeah. But that didn't work out, probably for the better. But I don't like it's the animal things in there, and I know it's just a movie and all that. It bothers me. I don't know. It's hard to. It just bothers me. So.
Hey, Anthony. Nice.
What about you, Joe?
Number 20, I have the Black Cat from Two Evil Eyes.
Here's Pelts, by the way. A little late. Good.
The reason why I have the Black Cat here, right above Phantom of the Opera, is for two reasons. Number one, it's short, only an hour long.
Yeah.
Easily rewatchable. Number two, what I really like about it is it feels like a Tales from the Crypt episode.
It does.
And
I'm with you on
I
that.
love Tales from the Crypt, obviously. To me, it really feels like one. It looks like one. It was filmed in Pennsylvania. Just the location of it looks like a Tales from the Crypt episode. The story is like a Tales from the Crypt episode.
Yeah.
Just the overall look. I mean, it was around the same time, the early 90s, when Tales from the Crypt was on TV.
Yep.
It literally, it captures that feel of watching Tales from the Crypt. If you add the Crypt Keeper to the beginning of that segment, you would totally literally think it's a Tales from the Crypt episode. So
I agree.
For me, that's why I really like it. It's just that one's a difficult one to rank because it's part of it's one segment of a horror anthology film.
Yes.
So we didn't judge it. We didn't judge it as Two Evil Eyes. We only judged that specific segment.
Yeah.
So that's
I agree, and I like the other one that Romero did as well. That's why I think a lot of people crap all over Two Evil Eyes, and I don't understand why.
Usually they like the Argento segment more. That's the one that they prefer.
Yeah. Even though the Black Cat's been done to death. Yeah. Piss on the I'm done with the showing the stuff. We'll just get back to talking. I've given up.
Number 19.
Okay, Jack. For 19, I have Dracula 3D. A little history about me in this film. I thought I watched it when I first got it, which has been years ago. There was still Suncoast around. And I may have started it, but fallen asleep. That doesn't necessarily mean the movie's bad. And I started it one other time because I remember the first scene with the boobs. The what was her name?
Of course you do, you
Tina?
pervert.
I know.
Yeah,
I am a pervert. Tina, is that her name? Tiana.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember that scene, but then I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the whole thing. So this was actually a first time watch for both me and Joe. And I really liked it. I know people don't like it. I know they think it's ridiculous. I know everybody complains about the praying mantis, which I actually really liked. I didn't think it was that bad. I liked that they used other animals because they used an owl in one of the scenes too. I thought that was really cool. And like a wolf man sort of thing.
He's a wolf, an owl.
Yeah.
Praying mantis.
I thought that was really cool that they didn't go with the norm. They actually went with something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Hey, Annette. So I actually like Dracula 3D. I know that's blasphemy and everybody's going to want to take away my horror card, but I liked it. And it is.
I have it higher than you, so if yours is getting taken away, mine's getting taken away.
So that was my number 19. What's yours, Joe?
My number 19 is Dark Glasses.
Oh, that hurts. But it doesn't hurt that bad because you're not that far away from me.
So, again, I like that this is Argento's most recent film, the last film he's made as of right now, 2022. I thought you weren't showing them anymore. Is that what you're looking for?
I'm just moving them out of the way so I don't trip over them.
So it's his most recent film. I liked it a lot. I like the lead. I like that the movie has heart.
Yes.
The issue I have with it is it's not really a giallo. It's more of just a slasher. I mean, we see we know who the killer is pretty much right away. We see the killer throughout. We kind of understand why he's doing it if you're paying attention to the movie. There's really no mystery element to the film. It's just more of a cat and mouse movie, which on a normal occasion is not a bad thing. Like I said, I do like it, but on a list of gialli, it's just I have to look at the context of it. Is like I rather have that mystery element plus the slasher element as opposed to just a random killer going after victims. It's just it's just a cat. It really is just like a cat and mouse movie.
Yeah, they do give you the killer pretty quickly. I think it's like third into the movie. I think. Yeah,
and I mean, and even if I feel like even prior to that, you can kind of see where it's going. You can kind of predict right away who the killer is going to be. There's really nothing hiding it.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not like his older stuff where there's like a ton of like red herrings. There's really
I thought that he was a red herring, one of the first red herrings. But it turned out that it was just that simple.
That simple. That's what I'm saying. There's like nobody else where you're really thinking, oh, it could be this person too, or this person. There's nobody. Who else could it be? So it's one of those things.
They throw out a couple people afterwards, but then you're just kind of like, well, I don't know if anyone hasn't seen this, but we're not pulling punches tonight. You do see who's inside the white van. So it's just like, okay. It's fairly early too.
Jack, to an extent, not all gialli are slashers either, though. There are some there are gialli that don't even have a slasher element.
They're just murder mysteries.
Yeah, so not all slashers are gialli, and not all gialli are slashers.
Yeah.
Like in this case, like this one is I would say
it's more of a slasher.
It's a slasher. It's not really a giallo. Yeah. It's not. They're not really following any kind of mystery here.
I mean, they do go with the dark gloves and stuff like that to set it up like a giallo, but by the third of the movie, you do see who it is. And
so like Suspiria is more of a giallo than this ends up being.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so that was what, 19?
Yep.
What do you got for 18?
18, I have Phantom of the Opera.
Okay.
Now, I've been a fan of this one. I think it's very quirky. I love the set pieces. I like Julian Sands in it. Of course, I like Dario Argento in it. It's just one of the things that really impressed me about the film was the costumes.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people don't really talk about costumes and stuff like that, but One of the things that really impressed me is they definitely were able to distinguish what was class back then. You have the richer people, which you can tell because their clothes are cleaner and nicer. Then you have the people that work inside the opera, basically the people just doing odd jobs that are dirty and torn and stuff like that. And I appreciated the attention to detail, not only in that, but in the actual underneath of the opera as well, all the way leading down to the what do they call that, the water that they have down there. I honestly thought it was kind of cool that he had that setup down there. You know, it was a lot nicer than you see in the other Phantom of the Opera movies.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He has a flair for the spectacular, and I think that movie benefits from it a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So, yeah. And that's, number 18, Phantom of the Opera. What do you got, Joe?
Number 18, I have Pelts from Masters of Horror. I'm a huge Meatloaf fan.
Yeah.
Sucks that he's gone. Loved his music. Loved him as an actor. Loved him on Celebrity Apprentice. I just loved him. I thought he was an awesome guy all around. So Pelts I always really liked because of that number one. Like, no matter what, I was going to like that episode when it aired because it was like, okay, as the Meatloaf episode, it's Dario Argento. You know, it's pretty awesome. There's some great gore in it. Again, it's just a matter of like sort of grading it on a scale, like compared to everything else. I just like everything else more, but I really do like it. I feel like it's a strong Masters of Horror episode. You know, if we were ranking the Masters of Horror episodes, it would probably rank higher than it is on this ranking. So
that's true.
Something to consider maybe for the future that we'll probably end up doing at some point.
We've talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
So yeah, Pelts at number 18.
Nice. Like I said, I wasn't too far from you. For 17, I had Dark Glasses.
Chris, there are 2 seasons of Masters of Horror, and then there's technically a 3rd season that was changed to it was called Fear Itself.
Fear Itself, yeah. I still need to watch all of those. Yeah, Dark Glasses has a lot of heart. It kind of disguises itself in the beginning as a standard giallo, but like we said, you do find out who the killer is really early. I like the relationship between the prostitute and the little kid. I think that's pretty cool. It's not sleazy or anything.
She has some great nudity too.
Yeah, she does. She's for I don't want to say an older woman because she's not that old, but she's attractive. She's very well built. I'll say that.
No, she's nice to look at too.
Yeah, yeah. But it has a lot of heart. And one thing that was really weird for me was I did not recognize Asia because she's in it quite a bit.
Oh yeah, she's an important character.
First time I watched it, I did not know it was her. I was like, where the hell was she in the film?
The voice.
She looks a lot different.
That voice should give it away.
Yeah, you would think. So, yeah, but that's Dark Glasses. And Joe and I pretty much agree on this one. I just had it a little teeny bit higher than he did.
Yeah.
What's your number 17?
Giallo, number 17. So, just like Dark Glasses, all right, now I gotta say, I actually love Giallo. I do. I really like. This is like a movie that it's another one that gets a lot of hate. We actually did a positive spin for this one already. That one already, people have already seen that positive spin. I like this movie a lot. Adrian Brody's awesome in it. But one of the biggest criticisms of this movie is something that I actually agree with, and it's the fact that the movie is called Giallo, and again, it's not really a Giallo. It's like it's.
Why is it called Giallo?
Yeah, I understand that because of the killer. But I get why people get frustrated because it's a movie called Giallo by a guy who's considered, one of the masters of the Giallo, and it's not really a Giallo. With that being said, there is a mystery element to it. It's like kind of like, why is he doing this and that? And cool killer, great kills, love the ending.
Yes. Yes.
Also, the problem with Giallo that a lot of people have is the fact that Argento didn't have a lot of hands-on with this one. Like he directed it, but he had a
Yeah.
lot of studio interference.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people, criticize it as being, sort of like a director for hire job for him, which I don't
Yeah.
necessarily believe to be the case, but I understand what they mean by saying that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really feel like Argento because there was a lot of studio interference with it. Um, but I do really like it, and I mean, I know other people in rankings have this like dead last. So, you know, dead last, second to last. So to have it
Yeah.
up here, I do like it more than most.
Yeah. Well, tonight's going to be the night for surprises. So, I actually have Giallo at number 17. No, number
16.
16. 16. I have Giallo at number 16, and I'm
There you
going to
go.
reveal something to you that I was tempted to when we watched it, but then I was like, you know what? Let me just wait until the stream. So this one's for Joe, actually. And I'm going to tell you that I did not know that Adrian Brody played both parts. I didn't
Really?
know until you pointed it out. I
Are
was
you
completely
serious?
dumbfounded. I did not know. I did not
I felt
know.
bad talking to you about it, like you like as if like it was like this obvious thing.
I planned on revealing it on the stream. I did not know when you told me that I couldn't unsee it. But before
So did you
then,
not say that in your positive spin video?
I don't remember.
Huh.
I don't remember. And I just did it a few. Well, no, I don't think I did. Did
Hmm.
I?
That was a while ago now.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But I really didn't know that I told you who I thought he looked like, and we're not going to get into that. But I did not know that was Adrian Brody. And when after you told me, I gained an entirely new respect, not only for him,
Yeah.
but for the film itself, because he came very close to making one of our categories. And I think you know which one that is.
Yeah.
Because I love him as a brooding cop. He is
He's great. He's great in the
he's
movie.
great. He is great in the film,
And he
and
has
he's
the
even
dual
better as the
role.
freaking villain.
He has a dual role, exactly.
Yeah,
He's the
amazing.
protagonist and the antagonist. I mean, the hero and the villain. So
Nude scenes. Maybe we should. We probably
yeah,
should. He'll get banned from YouTube. But yeah, I really like Giallo. I never understood the hate for it. I get the whole point of them revealing the killer quickly. I get it. I mean, they did wait a little while because they only showed like little bits and pieces of him.
yeah.
But then they do reveal him like probably halfway through the movie. And yeah.
I think that's funny because, like I said, I remember, I can only imagine what you were thinking now when I asked you. I was like, "Do you think there's a reason why he cast Brody in both roles?" And you just
I was
you just
like,
went
what
along with it.
the hell? My mind was
And,
blown.
and Ben just pointed out he knows exactly how to play the role. That's what gave it away for me the first time I watched Giallo. I saw the killer yellow, and I saw the nose, and I was like, "Why do they have Adrian Brody as the killer too?" There's no denying that nose.
Yeah, but they added on to it. I mean, it wasn't his nose; they added on to it.
Oh,
But I
but
get what you're
still,
saying.
I mean, it was like. And by the way, guys, in case you haven't noticed, there's going to be spoilers in this video. So if you
Yeah,
haven't seen all these Argento movies,
yeah,
there's no way around it.
yeah.
Hey,
We're not pulling
Hobbs.
punches this time. But
Hey,
I really like that movie. And like I said, when you said that, I was like, son of a bitch. It was like a
Yeah.
light bulb clicked on in my head. I figured you would enjoy that. So I was
That's
like,
funny.
yeah, should I tell him or not?
That's funny.
And I'll never see the movie the same way again, which is kind of funny. Yeah, he was really yeah, he was really good in that. Definitely. So what is your number 16?
My number 16 is Argento's Dracula.
Nice.
Now,
That's a pretty big
something you don't know
what?
is I watched it again last night.
Did you really?
I did
Son of a bitch.
because I could not stop thinking about it because I was when you and I watched it the other night, we were like, "What the hell?" We were very impressed.
Yes.
Because we went not listen, we went into it with low expectations. I get that. Expectations play a role. But
Yeah.
as I told you, I watched somebody else's video and somebody that I've watched quite a bit of his videos and I trust his opinion because he's a respectful guy on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and he basically felt the same way we felt about it. He kept putting it off. He watched
Yeah.
it. He watched Dracula, and he was like, "What the hell is wrong with this?" Like, he's like, "Yeah, the CGI, blah 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 blah." But he was like,
Yeah,
"This is
it's
actually."
wonky,
He's like, "It's a
but
really fun movie. It's super entertaining." And then he went and he watched it a second time to see if maybe he was just in like a really good mood the first time, and he was like, "Huh, I like this even more." And then he went and he watched it a third time, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm really digging this movie.
yeah,
It's."
it's a very well made film. I was very surprised.
So that's
I've
what
been
I did. I
listening to
wanted to
these
watch it.
people trash it
I wanted
forever.
to watch it again with that sort of with the realistic expectations because I went into the first time with the low expectations. And I was like, okay, I've seen it once. Now, am I gonna like it as much? Liked it even more.
Yeah,
Super entertaining. And listen, I'm somebody. How many different Dracula movies do we need? I mean, I'll
right.
watch them, but it's like, Jesus, another Dracula adaptation. This one, it does something different. I
Yes,
I really enjoyed Dracula. Like the character of Dracula is
he
really
was
good.
great. He was great in that.
He really was. The
Yeah.
kills are awesome. There's great gore.
Yep.
There, the nudity is amazing. I mean, let's be
Yeah.
honest. I
Yeah.
mean, there's naked girls through the entire film.
Yep.
I love the setting. I love the set pieces. I really really liked it. I just find it so entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. And
So
I couldn't understand because I kept asking you, what is wrong with this film?
you and I went into it, and we were like, okay, let's watch our last place movie now, get it out of the way.
You said that too.
Yeah,
You
we
did,
really
yeah.
thought it was going to be last place based on what
Yep.
people say about it. It's his lowest rated movie by far.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
people do is tear it apart. But once again, what do we always tell each other? We can't listen to people's
Yeah.
opinions
Yeah.
because this is what happens. All it takes is one person to review it negatively for everybody else to jump on the bandwagon and say, well, this person said it sucks, so that means I have to go into it knowing that it sucks.
Yeah.
And they don't even give it a chance.
Ah, man. It was impressive. And even because I was waiting for, I was like, we were an hour and a half into it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's got 20 minutes left to shit the bed.
Yes, you said that.
And
Exactly.
then the Praying Mantis came out. I was like, the fuck's wrong with this?
And then Rutger Hauer comes out at that point too, so it's like, here we go.
I was done.
Yeah.
I was right there with it the whole
I mean,
time.
you have Rutger Hauer as Van Helsing.
Yep. He was great. He's awesome.
I think it. I really do like that. I'm still thinking about it. There's just something about that movie.
It's
it was
fun.
like I remember telling you when we were watching it. It was like comfort food for me. There was something comforting about it to me, like the way
it feels like a Hammer Dracula film.
Yeah, yes, it does. It feels like a Hammer Dracula film. Yep. Absolutely.
The later ones when they could show nudity, but
yep,
yeah.
Nope, I absolutely agree. It has that comforting Hammer feel. I really really liked it. So
I like the chances that they took with it. I really did.
Me too. So that was number 16 for me. What do you have at 15?
I have Jennifer for number 15, which is the first season of Masters of Horror.
Yep, and that is also my number 15.
Is it really?
It is.
All right. What do I want to say about Jennifer? Yeah. A lot of nudity, of course. But what's really weird
if you see the actress without the makeup, she's smoking.
So
it's good nudity, despite the subject matter of the film
and the face. But
well, that's what I mean.
The kind of thing is, so it's like it causes you to ask yourself a question. Would you?
That's why I've always loved this episode of Masters of Horror.
Yeah.
I think so. This movie takes the age-old tale of a cursed object and turns it into a cursed person.
Yes.
Like it's like having like this item that you can't get rid of, only it's a person. And so like, what do you do? Like your only option is to either kill yourself or kill this person to get away from it.
Yeah.
And like you just said, it literally you're watching it and it's like sick. You're questioning, geez, did I fall for this?
Yeah. It is. It's like it really made me think. It made me kind of sick to my stomach at the same time. It in a weird way though, because it's like, because I'm asking myself, would I do this? Would I?
The casting is amazing because,
Yeah.
like I said, we know what she looks like. Obviously, we know what the actress looks like.
Yeah.
But even if you put that aside, I remember the first time I watched Jennifer, I didn't know what she really looked like until after I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
So the casting is perfect because despite like the prosthetics in the face, she has like the ideal body.
Yeah, she's smoking.
So you see the body and it's like, oh yeah. And then you see the face and it's like, oh no. But somehow you're still thinking, but maybe if she turns around, maybe if her hair's in front of her face, and you're like, am I wrong? Because you know you were thinking it.
Nope. You're not wrong.
I did. It's crazy how it captures you like that. You really find yourself questioning how far would you go?
And this guy ruined his entire family.
Everything.
Yeah.
His life is ruined. and it's not only how her body looks, but she's just raring to go at all times. Yeah. And she won't take no for an answer. She's like, let's go. She's unzipping. She's getting on top right away. She is slobbering all over. It's
literally.
I mean, Jesus.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's a really good Masters of Horror.
It's great. It really is. It's great.
I'm probably thinking maybe top 5.
Top 5. I know it's top 5 for me, Masters of Horror. I know it is.
Yeah. I mean, I love Cigarette Burns and some of the other ones, but that is a really good one.
Yep, that's top 5 for sure.
Yeah,
maybe top 3 for me, because there's 2 I would put above it. But
yeah, you got Coscarelli's and
Cigarette Burns.
Yeah, no doubt. So, all right, number 14.
Yeah,
14. We're moving right along. Do you like Hitchcock?
I do. Do you?
I do. And I really like this movie. As a matter of fact,
if you take away Hitch, Jason likes that too.
Yeah, I do. What was her name? What was the girl across the street? What was her name? I can't remember.
I don't remember. Yeah.
But this movie was, it's just fantastic. And I like it more every time I watch it. So, yeah. For Italian TV, there is some good nudity, which surprised me. Because I don't think, when I watched his other show, I don't think there was any nudity on there. Now, granted, they could have filmed it and then not put it in until they released it.
Yeah, but which they do sometimes. I'm
not sure how it works over there, but my only drawback with the movie, only drawback, is the guy being a bit of a puss.
Yep.
But it serves the film. So, yeah. 14. Do you like Hitchcock? And there's, oh my God, the video rental store. Man, I could talk about this all day. The horror section, you get to look at the horror section. You get to look at all these different posters that are around.
Yeah.
It's literally so cool. God damn. Now I'm wondering why I didn't put it higher. 14. Do you like Hitchcock? If none of you guys have seen it, it's Italian TV, but it's done just like a movie. And
well,
if you can get your hands,
actually was a made-for-TV movie just in Italy.
In Italy, yeah.
Like it is a movie. It's not like Masters of Horror or like The Tram or something like that. This one was an actual feature-length film.
Yeah. So if you can get your hands on it, it's not easy to get now, but if you can get your hands on it, I'd definitely say pick it up and watch it. Fantastic movie. 14?
14, I have The Card Player.
There's
another one that gets some criticism.
I don't get it.
Unfairly. I love the concept of this one. You know, this one is definitely a giallo. You have a killer kidnapping victims, women, and tying them up and forcing the police to play online poker and for every hand the killer wins, he chops off a piece of the victim.
Yep.
And if the killer wins the majority of 5 hands, then the victim dies. If the
Yep.
cops win, the victim will be let free. Great concept, really fun idea. I love how they find the young kid to play poker because
Yes.
he's really good at playing
Yep.
the electronic games. I love that idea of it.
Me
I
too.
love that. Fans of Game of Thrones, we have Sir Davos from Game of Thrones. He's the male lead in this movie. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool seeing him in that role, a bit younger than he was when he did Game of Thrones. And yeah, it's fun. It almost feels like an extended Dexter episode. I think it's because of like
Oh my God.
the police station setting reminds me of the police station in Dexter,
Yes, it does.
right?
Yes, it does.
And just the way like the main cast is made up of all the different detectives.
Yep.
So it feels like this would be a Dexter episode. And I think it has a really good climax too.
Yeah.
Really, really good stuff at the end. I wouldn't say it's all that surprising, the reveal, but it's good enough. It's not too predictable, but you know,
Was that a first time watch for you, Joe?
No, I had seen that one before.
Okay.
I saw that one actually a couple times. Yeah,
There were enough of red herrings in it though to throw
there
you off.
are. That's what I'm saying. It's not one of the most shocking reveals. It's not necessarily predictable, but it wasn't one of the more shocking ones either. But there's also a really cool kill scene. I want to mention that is sort of a booby trap in the movie, and that's a really great scene that I think is sort of like for me is like the centerpiece of the film.
Yes.
Along with the online poker sequences.
Yep.
So that's the card player at number 14 for me.
All right, moving right along. Card player is number 13 for me.
There you go.
And I really like this movie. As a matter of fact, my wife likes this movie, and she doesn't like this kind of stuff. And I think it was the fact of the online poker playing that she likes so much, along with there being a mystery involved. Like I said, they do put enough red herrings in there, I think, to kind of satisfy. The only part I think this movie falls apart a little teeny bit is at the end. Yeah. The whole train track thing.
Yeah, there's some kind of illogical aspects to it there. It's kind of like, huh?
But I will say that trap, right?
Yeah.
Is so important for that film, even when it happens, because no one is safe.
Yep.
And I think it's so important for that film.
Absolutely. Chris, I would love to do that at some point. We can probably do that at some point.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, I love the card player. This is another one that doesn't rank very high. I think it's like a 4.6, 4.9. And might be even lower than that. But I really like the mystery element. I like the woman detective. I like the guy that she kind of pairs up with.
Yeah, that's from Game of Thrones, yeah.
Like I said, I think there's a substantial amount of red herrings to kind of throw you off the scent.
There's a really good kill in the water too with the hook.
Oh yeah. Kill. Oh my god. Yeah. Good movie. Really good movie. A lot of nice set pieces in there too.
Yep.
So yeah, card player for number
13.
13?
Mm-hmm.
What do you got for number 13?
Number 13, I have Do You Like Hitchcock? We just reversed
them. Yes,
I do. Just reverse them.
Yep.
Yeah, for all the same reasons you said. This is like a Argento movie for Hitchcock fans.
Yep.
Like it's like an homage to Hitchcock. And also a little bit of De Palma. A little bit of homage of De Palma in there too, which I love because he recognizes that De Palma based his directing on Hitchcock as well. So I love that you have that. And then the settings in this are just amazing. I love the video store. I love that there are so many movies that have like video store scenes, but they're like one scene that's usually pretty quick and it's out. I feel like the video store and Do You Like Hitchcock is a central location. Like the characters keep returning to this video store. And it's like a small mom and pop kind of video store.
Yep.
And it's a video store where it's not just like blank cases on the shelves. Like you can actually see the covers of the movies, which is really cool. You have all the movie posters in there. It's a real video store. It's not like a set.
Yeah.
So I really love that. You get some cool kills in it, some great nudity. I
Yeah.
also love the apartment building across the street with that glass
Yes.
stairwell.
Yes.
Love it. As you said, the protagonist, the male lead, he's a little on the weaker side, but it's kind of important to the story, so it makes sense of why
Yeah,
that's the
it
case.
serves it. Yeah. It
Um,
does.
his girlfriend is way out of his league.
Oh my God.
I don't know how he scored her, but yeah. Yeah, Chris, that's obviously mine too, buddy. But yeah. Do You Like Hitchcock for me is number 13.
Which brings us to number 12. And I think this is a very underrated one. I have Sleepless for number 12.
I have Sleepless at number 12 as well.
Do you?
I do.
Nice. Okay, Sleepless. Is it a little too long? Yes.
Yeah.
But I like the twists and turns in it. And it's one of those movies that I've seen multiple times. And I do remember who the killer is in that because I was curious. Well, you had seen it before. Did you remember who the killer was towards the?
I did, like, after a
Okay.
certain point I did. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, it was just really cool. The whole setup, Max von Sydow is in it. He is great. And again, this is one where no one really is safe.
Yeah.
And I like that aspect of the film.
I love that as a very bizarre storyline.
Yes.
This feels like a David Lynch giallo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something Lynch would do. Look, because I mean, we said we're going to have spoilers. If I don't have to spoil it, I guess I don't want to. But let's just say the who everybody thinks the villain is a type of villain that David Lynch would have in a movie. David Lynch focused on a lot of characters like that in Twin Peaks and his movies. So I could like literally see David Lynch directing this film. It has that kind of wacky storyline.
It is bizarre.
I love the opening on the train.
Yes.
That's such a cool chase scene and the kills, all that. Awesome. I love how it's like an empty train too, so it's like very, very
atmospheric.
Like, yeah, it's atmospheric. It's creepy. It's very good. Very well done.
Hell yeah.
We also start within like the first 2 minutes. We have like full frontal nudity, so that's always a plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It's a good way to start a film.
Yep.
For number 11, I know we're not going to be on the same wavelength here, but for number 11, I have Trauma.
You dropped that a lot.
I did.
Holy crap.
I like Trauma. I do like Trauma a lot. And it has this, what do I say about it to not spoil anything? I like Piper Laurie in it. Of course, you have the controversy, which we'll be talking about soon.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to get into it here.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
We did a controversial view for Trauma.
Yeah.
So you guys will be seeing that over the next couple of months.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a pretty big controversy with Trauma.
Yeah, definitely. I like the characters a lot.
This was Argento's first American production, by the way.
Yeah, it was. And you could tell he was really trying to make it memorable. And I do like it a lot. I like this movie a lot. There's a few moments that take me out of it. But the kills in the beginning, and I'll say kills, still haunt me for some, because it's so weird. It is so weird. I don't really want to say anything more about Trauma. It's one that you kind of have to see. You loved it right away.
I'll say a few things when I get to it. Yeah. I'll say a few more things, but
But that's Trauma for number 11. I really like it. I think I know too much about the movie, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And I think that maybe that interferes with my putting it further up.
Okay.
I'll say that. All right. What do you have for number 11?
For 11, I have Mother of Tears. This one was a big surprise. I mean, I had seen it before, but like I didn't remember liking it as much as I did this time. I remembered liking it. I always wondered why people hated it so much. But watching it again, I was really into it when we did this one. I love how it connects, obviously, to Suspiria and Inferno.
Hell
I love
yeah.
how it specifically mentions Susie Bannion from Suspiria. I love how it, has that direct connection, obviously,
And
to
Varelli,
Inferno.
too.
So with it, obviously this is the third film in the Three Mothers trilogy. I think this one is unfairly maligned. People complain about the whole Obi-Wan Force Ghost of Darian Nickelodeon. Like I get it, but it works because it's a movie about witches. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
supernatural film. It's not like it's
Well, you have to also understand where the mother came from, too, and what they said about the mother.
Yeah.
So it's not just a Force ghost or whatever they
Exactly.
want. Yeah, there is technical reason for things happening in the film as it relates to not only the first one but the second one.
Yep. I think
So,
Ozzy does a great job in this.
yeah,
I think this is probably the movie where she really does shine. Like she
yeah,
has the opportunity to shine, and I feel like she takes full advantage of that.
yep.
Some great visuals, again, great nudity. And something else that I find amazing about it that I don't want to mention yet because we're going to probably mention it in the categories later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I have that for any of my categories?
You should because
I
I think
did.
we have
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I do.
for the same category, I think.
I do.
So yeah, that's Mother of Tears at number 11 for me.
So I'm going to piggyback off of that and go with number 10, which is Mother of Tears. Which is why Trauma moved down, and you'll understand when you hear my number 9. Man, Mother of Tears. I liked it the first time I saw it, but I liked it so much more this time. And I've only seen it twice because, let's just be honest, we have a lot of movies to watch, and I have tons of movies up there that I haven't even looked at yet. So getting back to a movie is not exactly the easiest thing for me or Joe, but it was such a pleasure to be able to revisit this and really, really enjoy it. Seeing Inferno and seeing Suspiria not that long ago, it really fits. It really fits for everything that Joe said. I mean, they talk about Susie Bannion. They talk about Varelli, the guy who made the places for the Three Mothers. So the major points are carried over from each movie onto the Mother of Tears. And the first time I saw it, I thought the end was a little too fantastical, but I don't think that anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah. Man, it has some really good stuff in there. Really good stuff. Creepy stuff. So
I agree.
Yeah, Mother of Tears is my number 10, and it's pretty much for all the reasons that Joe said.
Major top.
And I know what your number 10 is going to be, so we'll be piggybacking again, I'm sure.
My number 10 is Inferno.
Right.
I just feel like they go together, Inferno and Mother of Tears, because the thing is with me, there are things I prefer in Inferno, and there are things I prefer in Mother of Tears, oddly.
Me too.
But at the end of the day, which one do I prefer? I'll give Inferno the edge because, it was sort of during like Argento's peak.
Yeah.
It was 1980. It's that colorful Argento that a lot of people know and love. The colorful sets, great kills. The opening is absolutely amazing. The ending is absolutely amazing.
Oh my God.
I really like the story. I do think it has some pacing issues. It's a little bit longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
I would definitely cut it down like somewhere in the middle to kind of like pull a chunk out of the act 2.
Mm-hmm.
I do think I do think Mother of Tears is paced better. That's one of the things where I prefer Mother of Tears.
Oh yeah.
But overall, again, if I had to choose, it's tough because like right now, I'm like if I had to choose right now to watch either Inferno or Mother of Tears, I'm picking Mother of Tears.
So would
But
I, because I've watched Inferno too much lately.
but maybe 6 times out of 10, I'll choose Inferno.
Yeah.
So it's one of those kind of situations where I could literally swap them depending on my mood. But I feel like Inferno, I have more nostalgia for, or whatever. I've watched it more, and I just feel like I have a deeper appreciation of Inferno.
Yeah.
Whereas Mother of Tears, I haven't seen it enough to have that same type of appreciation. But they are
Yeah,
close.
I'm
I do
keeping it
feel like
down
they go
here.
together really well. Um, but yeah, I have Inferno at number 10.
Yeah. Joe knows how I feel about this, and it felt bad too. And I'm going to piggyback off him once again. And my number 9 is Inferno because those movies go together so well.
They do.
Now, let's be honest, Suspiria is in a class by itself.
Yeah.
And I know that they're a trilogy and they're a great trilogy, but Suspiria is superior. I did that.
Suspiria is superior.
Is superior to the other two films.
Yeah.
You know, that's for me, that's honest. I love Inferno though. Inferno for me, just like Joe watched Dracula, when we watched Inferno, I watched it again the next day. And one thing I didn't tell you is I watched it the other day too. I really like it. There's something different about that movie that does go along with Suspiria and Mother of Tears, but it has a weird score, and they didn't use Claudio Simonetti.
No.
Like a lot of the other films, they used. I'm always thinking of the band Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So Keith Emerson did the. I always have to remember that for some reason, but Keith Emerson did do the soundtrack for Inferno, and man, he did a really wild job with the music to it. The score is very predominant, like it was in Suspiria, but for this one, it's predominant for different reasons, I think.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's colorful. And the ending is maybe one of my favorites. Maybe, I don't know, that's tough. But it's one of my favorites in Argento's catalog. Could it be a little shorter? I agree with Joe on that one.
Yeah, that's my biggest hiccup with it.
Yeah, but for what it is, it's damn good. God, yeah. It's damn good. So, all right, I'll suck that dick long enough. What do you have for number 9, Joe?
Number 9, I have The Bird with the Crystal Plumage.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the top 10 here, so it's just a matter of like, which do I prefer more than this ranking has been, you know, these movies have been moved around all over the place.
Yep.
This is just one of those cases where I have no excuse. I just like the others more. I just do. Yep. I mean, if I have these 9 movies in front of me, how would I rank them of which I want to watch in order? This would be last place compared to the ones that I have left.
Yeah.
That being said, I love the main twist in this one. I think it's like a phenomenal twist.
Yeah.
The whole aspect of the movie, without spoiling it, is like based on one thing when it's really something else, and I love that. I think you got a great lead. I think you have a great girlfriend to the lead. Some cool kills, some great twists and turns, some great red herrings, and a really good atmosphere. It's very atmospheric.
Yeah.
Bird with the Crystal Plumage. I also love like solving the whole point of solving the mystery, like with the zoo. I like that part of it. I think that's pretty cool.
The painting.
Yeah. It's Argento's first film. It's amazing. I just personally prefer 8 movies above it. So that's why I have it at number 9.
It's understandable, I guess. So
what do you got at 8?
Number 8, I have Deep Red. And this is where we're going to get into a little bit of a different territory for Joe and I, because we're both going to be talking about this, but not the way you think. Joe and I both watched the director's cut, which is 2 hours, and I'm going to make this as short as I can.
2 hours and 7 minutes.
2 hours and 7 minutes. And then I was so disappointed because for me, it was I like the film, don't get me wrong, but everybody calls this movie a masterpiece, right? And I think it's at 2 hours and 7 minutes. I'm going to be honest. I think it's boring. A lot of aspects of the movie are boring and could have been cut down a lot more than they were. However, we did watch the Hatchet Murders, which is the hour and was it 40 minutes?
Hour and 41, and then we watched the hour and 45. So we watched all three.
Right. And yeah, we did. I forgot about that. Yep. Because we kind of couldn't get it out of our mind. We did not want to not like Deep Red. And it's not that Joe and I didn't like Deep Red, the movie. It's just that there was a lot in it that just doesn't need to be there.
Well, this is what, number 8? This is number 8 for you, right?
I know.
So, right. I think it's fair to say, had we only watched the 2 hour and 7 minute cut, it would have been much lower for both of us.
Yes. 100%. So I do prefer the Hatchet Murders. So does Dario Argento, as a matter of fact. And I think the story moves around better. I think, I'm not going to say anything else because we have our categories. I love the set pieces. There's something about that where the fountain is in the sidewalk in the cafe where there's nothing but big glass.
Yeah. That
I just think is freaking beautiful.
Love it.
It's just in the architecture and the way the flats or the apartments are decorated. They're just, I don't know. There's something about it. It's just so disturbing and beautiful at the same time. So I am on board with Deep Red now. I am, and I think Joe is too. And I'm happy that I watched the shorter cut because it was better for me. So yeah, that's Deep Red at number 8. It took too long, but good. What's your number 8, Joe?
My number 8 is Opera. For me, I do love it, but I agree with a lot of other people's criticism with this one. I feel like this is Argento's most movie that can be defined as style over substance the most.
I get it.
The set pieces are gorgeous. The kills are amazing. I love the whole, obviously, with the needles in the eyes. But while all of his movies have like this need to suspend disbelief, this one really just, it's like he just didn't care. It's like there are things in this movie that is just like, that are unnecessarily out there. They don't necessarily have to be like that. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but like the reveal for me is sort of like, really? Like in the motive is sort of like, really? And then there's like a big twist at the end where it's like, really? Like there's just things that are just like, come on already. I do love it. Like I said, there's something about it that hooks you in because it's a gorgeous movie.
It does, yeah.
I love the set pieces. The locations are beautiful. Again, I love the kills. It's just when it all gets revealed, and by the end, I'm just kind of like done. I'm like, okay, this is just over. It's like overindulgent out there.
All right, motherfucker, you made your point.
That's just that's why I wish I could have this one higher. Like while I'm watching it, it's one of those movies. Truthfully, I'm about, say, an hour and 20 minutes into it. I'm like, damn, this is going to be a lot higher than I think it's going to. And then like those last 25 minutes, it's like, maybe not. So that's the thing. And I do feel like this is another one that goes on a little bit too long. It could be a little bit. But I wish this is probably the movie that I most wish I could rank higher. But still, it's number 8. I mean, it's still in my top 10. So
yeah, I mean that's good. It moved up some. Oh man. Okay.
Lucky number 7. What do you get?
I don't even want to play anymore. I'm going to take my ball and go home. All right, number 7 is also where it comes into a different cut of the film. I have Phenomena at number 7. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. When I was younger, I rented Creepers because of the cover. I thought it was cool. I liked the movie.
He actually thought it was called Peepers, and he thought it was going to get a bunch of naked people in it.
Yeah, yeah. You don't get any nudity in that, do you? Like a back scene? I don't think there is any nudity in that. Is there?
No, you really can't, I guess, just because they're all underage.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I rented Creepers when I was younger. I liked it. Flash of the Blade is so important for that song. I mean, for that movie. But ever since I got the Blu-ray, I've watched the hour and 50-minute cut of the film.
Yeah.
Which I was a little disappointed this time. Thought it was a little too long. Parts went on longer. But then Joe and I decided to watch the 83-minute Creepers US cut of the film. And it kind of brought me back to when I was younger and I saw Creepers for the first time. And man, I love this movie. And let me tell you,
just as a shout out, Dave Maggot, this is actually his #1 favorite Argento film, and he specifically said the Creepers cut is his favorite Argento movie.
Because the other one is a little bit too long and there's stuff that doesn't need to be in there. And let me tell you something. The Creepers cut is essential. Everything that's in the movie is essential. Yep. Joe put it perfectly when we watched it. He said this movie cuts to the chase better, and it does. And like I said, it was kind of like reliving when I was younger and I watched Creepers for the first time and why I loved it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not that I don't love the hour and 50-minute cut of the film. It's just too long. And there's even a longer one. There's an hour and 56-minute cut of the film, if I remember correctly.
That's the one. And even that's another case like Deep Red where Argento doesn't even like that cut. He thinks that one's like overindulgent.
Overblown. So
the hour that one is like the one where they literally just added in scenes that weren't even meant to be in the film. Like they just threw it in there because they had them.
So to tell you how much I liked it, Phenomena was originally around number 11 or number 12 because I was sending Joe my rankings up until like the last couple of days. After we watch Creepers, it is now at number 7. So that's a pretty significant shift. And man, I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
I'm ready to watch it again. I literally am.
I actually am right now. Like I could watch it right now.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck this stream. Let's go watch it.
All right. See you later, guys.
All right. But yeah, that was number 7 for me. It had a considerable shift, and man, I love Creepers. And Phenomena as well, because it's all the same movie. It's just
Phenomena.
Yeah. Phenomena. Okay. All right, Joe, what's your number 7?
Number 7 is Trauma.
Yeah.
This one jumped around a bunch for me. There was no way I could drop this from my top 10 though. I freaking love this movie.
I know you
do. I hit the button by accident. This is the one that you and I watched, and then I watched it again. Remember, like a day or two later again.
Yeah.
I woke up early. I woke up early one morning and I watched it again because I was thinking about it, and I really like it. I love the 90s feel of this movie. It's early 90s. Again, I think Asia Argento does a great job in this one. She's very young.
Does.
She was, 16 at the time.
It's what's tough in that movie for her, not to interrupt you, but it's tough to be a brat and still be well liked.
Yeah, she's likable.
Yes. Yeah. And that's a tough role to pull off because she's a pain in the ass at first and you really don't like her. But she does end up, kind of turning you over to her side.
Yeah. You get as you mentioned, you get Piper Laurie in this. You have Brad Dourif as well. The kills are amazing. The garrote kills. It's the killer reminds me of like one of the guys from the Night Trap video game. They have those garrotes that they kill around, chopping everybody's heads off with. That's like what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Like the mechanical garrote. So
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also a really cool twist in this movie that I know you love.
So unsettling.
I love the rainy atmosphere in Trauma too. Yeah. There's like a big rainstorm at one point that's like really, really good. Yeah,
They
this
do
is
that
one.
really well too. Because did you know that was manufactured? That actually wasn't raining,
Yeah,
and it really looked like it
it
is.
it does. Yeah. This is
Attention to
another one that
detail.
doesn't get as much love as a lot of his other movies, but I feel like this is one of his more underrated films for sure. I
Yeah, I
think
think
this
so
one
too.
deserves some more love. I mean, it's a really, really well done giallo, and it's
Yeah,
also very dark and mean spirited. The motive of this one is very dark.
it must
Like
have
the
been
motive,
really tough for him to do.
it's a dark motive.
Yeah.
When everything's revealed, it's like whoa, that's like some
Yeah.
heavy stuff. Um, hey Rob, how you doing? Yeah, so
Hey, Rob.
that was what number 7.
Hmm.
Yeah, trauma at number 7 for me. What do you got at number 6?
Number 6, I have what might have been my biggest surprise, and that is Cat of Nine Tails.
Okay.
Um, I freaking love this movie. Um, I think James Franciscus and Carl Malden are brilliant in this film.
The
I
best.
love Carl Malden's relationship with his. Actually, she's not even related to him.
She's his well, she's supposed to
Yeah,
be
I
his
mean,
niece.
like
Yeah.
direct. She calls him Cookie. I think that's so cute. And the more I thought about what you said to me that time about the whole reason for the
Yeah.
killing,
The motive, yeah.
I like it more and more.
I love it.
Um,
It's fantastic.
there is something about Cat of Nine Tails, and I'm going to tell you something. The last time I watched it, which was years ago, I thought it was way too long and way too drawn out. This time, it's at number 6,
I think it's
and
paced well.
it was higher, but yeah, we'll get to that. But I love Cat of Nine Tails. I think it's so good. It was the biggest, well, other than Dracula, it was the biggest surprise for me.
Yeah.
So, what do you got at number 6?
Number 6 is where I have Deep Red.
Nice. Well,
Um,
we weren't too far off.
I also prefer the shorter version, so whether it be the Hatchet Murders or even the hour 45-minute version, which is the US extended cut as it's called.
Yeah.
I much prefer those two versions than the 2 hour and 7-minute version.
Yeah.
Because again, a lot of the stuff in the 2 hour 7-minute version is fun for like I feel like you almost have to watch the shorter version first, because if you really fall in love with that, then watching the longer version is like basically watching like deleted scenes. It's like watching a bonus feature.
Yeah, but they're
Because
not important,
they're
though.
not. That's why I'm saying I think in this case it's better to watch
And
the shorter version. And then when you love that, because now if you love the movie so much so you want to see more of it,
yeah,
then you watch the 2 hour and 7-minute version.
I get that.
But for me, it's the shorter version that works better.
Yeah.
I just think it flows better. I mean, there's still stuff in it that I feel like could be edited out of it that's not necessarily needed, but it definitely flows a lot better than the longer cut. I understand why people consider it a masterpiece now. I understand why people love it. There is
Yeah.
absolute brilliance in that film.
Yeah.
There are things he does in Deep Red. Like I know why it's like the epitome of the giallo genre. I
Yeah.
get it. I definitely get it.
Oh, he's ballsy in that one. Like you
He
said,
absolutely
he's very
is, and we
ballsy.
will get to that for sure in a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. We will.
But yeah, Deep Red is it definitely is higher than it would have been had we only watched the longer version. So it's number 6 for me.
I have an idea. Do you want to do something different before we give our top 5?
Depends what it is, I guess.
You want to give some other top 5s? Or do you want to do ours first? It's up to you.
You can do that.
What?
Do the
Other top 5s?
yeah.
Okay. Joe and I both took the time and asked some people just at random what their top 5 Dario Argento movies are. I asked the guys from Body Bag, and I asked them if they would mind me sharing it, and they said no. So Rob from Body Bags, who's been a guest on the show, his top 5 are at number 5, Phenomena. At number 4, Deep Red. At number 3, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. At number 2, Opera. And at number 1 is Suspiria. Do you want me to go through all of them, or you want to switch off?
Good.
Glenn from Body Bags, who's also been a guest on the show, on our show, his top 5 at number 5 is Suspiria. At 4 is Sleepless, which really surprised me. I thought that was cool. At number 3 is Opera. At number 2 is Tenebrae. At number 1 is Deep Red. James from Body Bags. His number 5 was a tie between Phenomena and Opera. Number 4 was Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Number 3 is Tenebrae. Number 2 is Deep Red. And number 1 is Suspiria. And Lonnie, who's also been a guest on the show, his top 5, which I thought was cool that he was able to participate, is number 5 is The Phantom of the Opera, which I thought was cool. Number 4 is Deep Red. Number 3 is Phenomena. Number 2 is Suspiria. And number 1 is Tenebrae. And I thought that was really cool. And Joe actually did some too.
Yeah, I asked a few people too. Rob's Nightmares, who's in the chat, I'll let him give his top 5. I did ask him, but instead of listing someone's top 5 who's actually in the chat, he can do that if he wants. But I did get Dave Maggots as well. And his 5, he had Deep Red at number 5. He had Tenebrae at number 4.
Yes.
He had Suspiria at number 3.
Understandable.
Opera at number 2. And his number 1 favorite was the Creeper's Cut of Phenomena.
Yep. Which I completely understand. Like, we've already talked about that. And like I said, I'm ready to go again with that one. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So what's your number 5?
No, he said, go ahead, Joe. You can read his.
Well, I have his on a voice chat, so I'm going to have to.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I know he had Suspiria. He had Deep Red. He had maybe Tenebrae, Inferno, Cat of Nine Tails. I think is the 5 that he said.
Cat of Nine Tails. I was really surprised to hear that on there. Not that a lot of people don't like it, but it doesn't get talked about a lot anymore. I was impressed by that. Yeah. Along with Phantom of the Opera and Sleepless. So,
yep.
All right. At number 5, my pick is Suspiria.
That's my number 5 as well.
Is it?
It is.
Oh, it dropped. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about Suspiria. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's horrific. It's a nightmare. How about that? There's just something about it that is so haunting. The colors are beautiful. It's actually creepy and scary in some moments too. It is a masterpiece.
What makes it creepy is being in a foreign country, in a surrounding, you're with your unfamiliar, with people you don't know.
Yep.
And it's not just the whole witch aspect of it either. It's the fact that she's like literally being like drugged and like boozed up. Yep. So she can't even really defend herself. Like what's real, what's really happening, what isn't.
Yep.
That's like a big part of it. Like what Susie's character is basically disarmed in a way by what they do to her.
She's really good in that.
She is.
She's really good in Phantom of the Paradise too.
I knew you were going to say that.
Good actress.
Yeah.
I didn't know she could sing, but yeah. Suspiria is just so damn good.
I mean, had we done this like years ago, this probably would have been like number 1 on my Argento ranking. Suspiria was always one of my favorite horror films. I think
you told me when you were younger that it was your favorite horror movie.
It was one of them. Yeah. And I think what it is watching all of these together. It's at the end of the day, I love witch films. It is a horror genre that I truly do love. But do I prefer gialli or do I prefer witch films? And for me, I prefer gialli. I'm more of a slasher guy. So
yeah, me too.
I was really looking at Suspiria and I was like, I had it higher, then I had it even lower than this. It was kind of going up and down. And I was like, you know what? 5 is a nice spot. It's like top half of my top 10. It's still in my top 5, but there are just 4 others that, as of right now, I would probably prefer to watch. But now, keep in mind, that also has to do with the fact that Suspiria is the Argento movie I've watched the most. So, at the end of the day, it's like, would I rather watch something I haven't watched as much over something that I can probably quote? Probably. It's just the way that it goes sometimes. So it's number
Yeah,
5.
we have watched that a lot. Even together, we watched that
Yeah,
a lot.
exactly.
It's a beautiful film.
It is.
It is. All right.
Number 4.
Number
What do you got?
4, I have The Bird with the Crystal Plumage.
Okay.
Man, I love this movie. The lead character is awesome. His girlfriend's awesome. I remember you said it earlier. There's like what you see isn't always what you're seeing, and I think it was brilliant the way that was done. Not only that, but it's just the two. And this is something stupid and little, but the two glass walls that he gets stuck between, always make me feel uncomfortable because there's nothing you can do but sit there and watch.
Yep.
And I think Argento set that up perfectly. It was his first giallo, and I really do understand why it holds up to this day.
Yeah.
So I love Bird. I love Bird. Yeah, Larry Bird. It's always been a favorite, but it never ceases to amaze me when I watch it. And I remember when we were watching, I was telling you, oh my God, this part is so awesome, and this and that. And like when he goes to see the painter and everything, it's just like, man. Yeah, Bird is amazing for me. Damn, what a good movie. Yeah.
He goes to visit the painter at the house with the laughing windows.
Yeah. Well, no. It's the Cyclops, so it's the laughing window.
Yeah.
It's only one.
Yep.
Why did you do that? Well, so nobody else can get in. Okay. Whatever you say, dude. Comes out, his hair is all like this.
Yep.
He almost made one of my categories. So, yeah. All right. What do you got for number 4, Joe?
Number 4, I have Phenomena. But
Phenomena.
I'm also gonna go with the Creepers cut, is what I prefer. Yeah. I can't get it out of my head.
It moved up a lot.
It moved up a ton. This is the version that I'm going to watch going forward for the most part. That's not to say I'll never go back to the other version, but when I feel like watching it, chances are this is what I'm going to watch. It really does cut to the chase.
Yeah.
It trims the fat. Anything. It really does. It really does. It trims the fat. I mean, we don't need to see her eating baby food. No. We don't need to see her talking about her mom and cheating on the boyfriend or whatever the hell it is. And none of that's pertinent to the story. I mean, we don't need any of that. I'm just blown away by this movie. It's super fast paced, this cut of it anyway. There's so much going on. It just keeps you hooked into it. The kills are amazing. I love her as our female protagonist.
Yeah, she's great.
Love the killer. I love the twist and the reveal. I love that Donald Pleasance is in the movie.
The chimpanzee is awesome.
I was going to say I love what the chimp does. I think that's an amazing aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It really is. Phenomena is number 4 for me. Like you said, I could literally put it on right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm like in the mood to watch it already. So
there's not many on here that I would take some time to watch again. Like maybe Stendhal Syndrome. It'll be a while before I watch that again. But a lot of them I can put right on and be completely content and fine.
Absolutely. But for some reason, right now, if you said let's watch an Argento movie right now,
Phenomenal.
I'm putting in Creepers. Yeah.
Yep. There's no doubt.
Yep.
Phenomenal. All right. For number 3, we're damn. Yep. Number 3, I have one of my favorites. Of course, it's one of my favorites because it's number 3. It's Four Flies on Gray Velvet. This movie is so underrated, and I'm not happy with Severin because of what they did with only doing a limited version of that, but I'll save my rant for another time.
By the way, Jack said Phenomena is in his top 5 favorite films of all time.
I can understand. I completely understand.
That's awesome.
There's something about Four Flies on Gray Velvet that I just love it. And it isn't even one of the most compelling villains in his movies, but I think the lead character is so likable, and just his lifestyle. It kind of makes you want to be there, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I just love it. I love the mystery of it. I love the mask. Damn, it's a good movie. This was his second movie. No.
Third.
Yeah, third after Cat, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Jesus, such a good movie. And that's my number 3 is Four Flies on Grey Velvet.
Okay. My number 3 is The Cat o' Nine Tails.
Great movie.
Yeah, this is another one. It had been a long time since I had seen it. When I watched this one, I was like, damn, this is good.
I told you.
The concept, I love the concept,
Yes.
which is ultimately the killer's motive. As you said, James Franciscus, Carl Malden, I love them as the male leads. Carlo Giordani, which is James Franciscus' character, I think he's like the James Bond of Giallo for me.
Yes.
Like that's what he feels like. He feels like he's like a James Bond type character. He's like this charming guy. He's like you know what I mean. You can understand why he gets the chick. Why he saves the day. Like he's just like this all around awesome hero. Like it's like impossible not to root for him, while also teaming up with Carl Malden's character, who's blind and has this cool relationship with this girl that he says is his niece, and the whole cookie thing. It's just
it's awesome.
Oh, it's so good, and there's so many great suspenseful moments in the Cat o' Nine Tails. Like for example, when they're in the mausoleum, that sequence is like amazing.
Yes.
It's so.
What's weird? This is the only movie out of this entire list that we watched separately.
Yep.
That was really weird.
Yeah, because you had just watched it, so I was like, well, I might as well watch this one.
Yeah, and it had been a long time for me too, and I just put it on because I didn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
And man, did it blow my mind.
Yeah, I just liked it. I mean, just little moments in it too, like with the milk. That's such a great scene.
Yes.
Lots of red herrings in it. There's almost like a false ending, and then like another false ending. There's like some really good stuff in this. I love the whole 70s vibe of it too. The look of it. I love the movie. It's another one that I've thought about frequently since watching it. So
I want to watch it again, definitely.
The Cat o' Nine Tails is number 3.
Another thing is it also made me question what would I do in a situation like that. He literally pushed I don't want to give away the ending or whatever. Yeah. And I'm not going to tell you why, but he pushed Carl Malden to the absolute breaking point.
Yep.
And you have to really ask yourself, what would you do in that situation? Would it be the same thing? I don't know. Probably.
Yeah.
So it's a great movie.
What do you got left to lose,
Yep. Okay, number 2 I got is one that could easily, probably, eventually flip-flop with my number 1 is Tenebrae.
Yeah.
Tenebrae is amazing. It's not only an amazing giallo, it's an amazing slasher movie. I don't really know what else to say about it. There's great nudity in it. There's great storylines in it.
Well, we can talk about it when I get to it too.
Yeah, it's just man, is it good. And that was another one that you and I watched together, and then I watched it again the next day.
Yeah.
Because I was so completely blown away by it.
Well, I watched it I watched it the next day. You watched it the day after. Remember, I watched it and then I told you, and then you then you watched it again because I watched it again.
I wanted to see it though. I mean, it's just like it has that hold on you.
Yep.
And that's another one, very much like what do we say that you have to what do you have to pay attention to? Sleepless. Is it Sleepless? Stendhal. That you have to pay attention the whole time, or else you will be completely lost.
It sure does, isn't it?
So
we're gonna be talking about scores in a second.
Oh my God. Yeah. Right. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Four Flies on Grey Velvet.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one to me has the best 70s feel.
Yes.
Like it has like that, like it almost has like a late 60s, 70s feel, even though this one came after Bird and Cat, if that makes sense.
Yep.
You know what I mean? This one feels like it's like maybe like that hippie era. It feels
Psychedelic.
like
Yep.
yeah, it reminds me of like a Charles Manson era type movie, like when all that stuff was going on.
Yep.
You know, just like the rock and stuff, that, you know, the band, and I don't know, it just has like that look to it. As you said, it's easy protagonist to follow, to
Yeah.
sympathize with. Um, he's sort of, you know, he's just sort of relatable. He's like a regular guy who's,
Yeah.
you know, um, I love the mask. The
Yeah.
killer's mask is
Oh my God.
incredible. I love the kill at the park, with the housekeeper maid.
Yes.
Awesome kill.
Yes.
And you know, and I feel like it's a very traditional giallo reveal,
Hmm.
but it works really well because of that.
It
Like
does.
like it's an impossible motive. Like
Yeah.
you can't figure out the motive. There's no way to figure out the motive. You can maybe guess who the killer is, but you'll never be able to guess the motive because there's no way of knowing the motive.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
And that
it's like
is typical for a lot of giallo.
it's like one of those cases where, like, I can think of a few people who would probably be like, "Oh, I guessed that motive." No, you didn't, because there's no possible way you could have.
There's no way. No way at all.
You know, because there's nothing in the movie to tell you what the motive is until the end.
Exactly.
So it's one of those.
That's why it's very traditional to regular giallo or
And
giallo.
here's something significant. I have it. I have it at number 2. In a ranking this difficult, I try to look for different things to like give me a reason to rank certain movies in certain places. So, for example, it would have been very easy for me to say, you know what, Four Flies on a Gray Velvet is going to be number 4 for me, and that's
Yeah.
just a good place to put it because I can't figure out where to rank these movies.
Right.
But I had it at number 4, and I was like, this is too low.
Yeah.
That's how much I love this movie. Where I was like, and then it was even like, you know what, I can't even put it at number 3. Like,
Yeah. Like I did.
I love Four Flies, so it's number 2 for me.
Yeah. It's a great movie. It really is.
At number
Which
1, you have the most stylish over substance movie that Argento has
I
ever made.
do. My number 1 is opera. Of course, that's the only one I haven't talked about. I love opera. I love how mean spirited it is. I love the kills. I love the beauty. I love the fact that he set up he defined a different way to film by using the bird's eye view. But most of all, and what probably puts it over the top for me, because Tenebrae is awful close, but with opera, for me, it's nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
It's the first Argento movie I saw, and it has a special place in my heart, and I do love it. It's just so damn good. And it is a little silly in times, but I don't know. It's fun. Fun movie. So that's my number 1. And I know what your number 1 is, but go ahead.
Which of course means my number 1 is Tenebrae. Tenebrae, it's maybe my favorite giallo. It's incredible.
So damn good.
To me, it's like what a giallo should be. Like, as a fan of gialli, like that, like it's like an ultimate giallo. Like, it belongs on like the Mount Rushmore of gialli, if there ever was one. I feel like that's where it belongs.
I agree.
The kills, the mystery, the reveal, the twists, the actual storyline that, you know, with the killer killing victims based on kills in the book Tenebrae.
Yep.
The nudity is amazing in it. The score is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The camera work is incredible. The location, the setting. I mean, I love the house where a really big kill in the movie takes place. I love the whole dog chase sequence. You know, in most horror movies, like a dog chase is sort of just like a quick like extra scare, and then like the dog stops or whatever. This dog does not stop. This dog is relentless. The dog just keeps coming.
Man. He was going. He reminded me of Michael Myers.
As Dan just stated, and John Saxon. You have John Saxon and Tenebrae.
Anything with John Saxon.
Tenebrae to me is a near perfect film. It is my number one favorite Argento movie. I love it. I can't get enough of Tenebrae.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Can't get enough.
It too. Well,
so before we get into the categories, people in the chat, if you haven't already, or if you already have, just to have them all kind of lined up, let us know what your favorite number one favorite Argento movie is. Post it in the chat for us. After you guys do that, we're going to move on to some categories like best kill, best score, based on our opinions, of course. So favorite kill, favorite score, favorite male lead, that sort of thing. But first, please tell us your number one favorite Argento movie.
Hell yeah.
Annette says Tenebrae. Thank you.
Tenebrae.
Great minds, Annette. It really is. Like, that movie just is one of those movies that gives me the chills. Like, I love that movie so much.
Suspiria is awesome.
Suspiria, perfect.
Oh yeah.
Rob says Tenebrae.
Tenebrae. Yep.
Man, Tenebrae is so damn good.
Damn. Just sent me a double shot of Phenomena and Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Hell yeah.
Who sent it?
Jack.
Nice.
Sent me the box sets on the Messenger. That's awesome. Bird is so awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, so now we have about I think 12 categories here, guys. We're gonna make our way through.
Yep.
So
and if you guys want to participate, tell us what your favorite is, and just let us know.
Jack says Phenomena. Yeah, so as we go through the categories, let us know what your favorite is out of all the Argento movies. So all right, so let's start with favorite setting. Let's start with that one.
Okay.
What do you have for your favorite setting in any Argento movie?
It was close, but Suspiria won out because it's just beautiful.
Okay.
It's beautiful. I love set pieces in a lot of his films. A lot of the architecture makes the Argento films and where he decides to film. Deep Red was really close, but ultimately Suspiria won out.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Joe?
I have a bit of an oddball here. So here's the way I worked this out. There were so many movies that were close for me because of like the grand set pieces and like I mean they're like glorious. I mean, but to choose one of them was so difficult that I actually went in a different direction. And I'm going with Do You Like Hitchcock? Because I love the town, number one. It's a different town that he hasn't filmed in Italy. Yeah. You have the apartment building, like I said, with that glass staircase.
Yep.
But again, for me, you have the central set of it's not even a set, it's an actual video store.
Yeah.
That's like a central location of the film. And again, for you guys who haven't seen the movie, it's not like this place they go to once or twice in the movie. Like they continuously return to this video store. It's an important part of the setting.
Yes, definitely.
So to me, it's like a really big part. So that's why I'm going with Do You Like Hitchcock as my favorite setting.
I would say that's definitely in my top 3, I think. I mean, I love Phantom, I love Opera, but Do You Like Hitchcock is freaking phenomenal.
I almost said Dracula. I mean, Dracula.
Beautiful set pieces in Dracula. Yeah. What does everybody have? Phenomena? I get it. Suspiria setting, Rob.
We're not there with music yet, Jack. Hold up. We're getting there. Suspiria setting, okay. Yep. All right. So Phenomena, Jack says, for setting, that's great. Makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful set pieces in there.
Yeah, I mean, plus the school alone, it's like we said, it's like a straight slasher film, school slasher film.
All right, what do you want to do next?
Let's do your favorite red herring. You don't necessarily have to be specific about it. You can kind of be cryptic. Okay, so just say like which of the movies has your favorite red herring?
I'm going to say the bird with the crystal plumage because every single person in that film is basically a red herring at one point or another. I'm not going with a specific. I'm going with the entire cast, just about.
Okay.
Because you suspect everyone. You suspect her husband.
Yep.
You suspect, well, of course, I don't want to give away the killer. You suspect the agent. You suspect the police had something to do with it.
Everybody guesses
everybody.
Yeah.
And
it's like
I
Scream.
really
Everyone's a suspect.
Yep. I really like that.
Yeah.
So what is yours?
For me, I'm going with Tenebrae because there's something that happens.
Yes.
That's a huge, huge moment. And it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then there's something else that happens a little while later that capitalizes on that. And it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have to go with Tenebrae. I mean, that's... and because it's more than a red herring, without spoiling too much.
It's almost like a red herring and a twist at the same time.
Yep.
No.
So, gotta go with that.
Yeah, I definitely get it. What do you guys think? So we don't have any red herrings. All right.
Why don't we do reveal and twist next? Because we just did red herring. So
yeah, I think we might be the same on this one.
So this is like this can be so guys in the chat, this could be a twist for at the ending. It could be a reveal at the end. It could be revealed at the beginning. It could be a twist in the beginning. It could be a reveal / twist anywhere in the movie where it's like, oh wow. Yeah. It doesn't have to be like the end reveal. It doesn't have to be the end twist. It can just be any twist or reveal in the movie. So I think we have the same one.
I think so too.
And so it's going to be Deep Red, correct?
Hell yeah.
Annette says
Tenebrae. That mirror blew my mind.
Yeah, the mirror.
Said, so ballsy, and when you go back and watch the film and you see that and realize that that's it. It's over.
Argento dragged out his brass balls and dragged them across our faces as we watched it.
Yes, he did.
Because it's like, it's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yep.
It is almost an insulting twist because you're like, you son of a bitch.
Because you go right by it. And if you don't know what to look for, once the reveal, the final reveal is, and the twist is stated, you're like, son of a bitch. I saw that.
Not yet, Jack. We're doing best twist right now. We're going to do kill later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for twist, deep red for sure. And that's the thing. It's like, it's one of those things too where it works once. Okay?
Yeah.
But it makes you want to go back and watch again because you're like, son of a bitch.
Yep.
And after watching multiple times, I have to say there's something genuinely creepy about that.
Yep.
When I watch it now, when that part comes up and you see it, it almost sends like a chill down your body. You're like, ugh, because it's like it's right there and you realize how close he is.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the killer in Deep Red is kind of creepy looking.
Yeah.
You know, so when you see that, it's like, ooh, there's something about that that's like really creepy.
I hope nobody I know is watching, but she reminds me of my dad's wife, just with a dark wig on. It's creepy. It is creepy.
Jack, I agree. That's another one that I considered, but Deep Red is just too big. But the phenomena twist is that reveal is woo.
Tenebrae for red herring. I that would have been very close.
That was mine. Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah, that was very close for me. It just that everything was a red herring and bird, and I'm like, all right, who the fuck did it? I give up.
No, I get it. That whole movie's a red herring.
Yeah, I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
What do you want to do next?
All right, let's do favorite score next.
Deep Red is so close for me, but it's Tenebrae.
It's Tenebrae for me too.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tenebrae gets you pumped. Tenebrae gets you pumped.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Claudio Simonetti really turned out some fantastic scores.
I mean, we could
and with Goblin.
We could do like a top 10 easily. I mean, there's so many great scores. I mean, we watch Phenomena. We're like, oh my god, this is a great score. Suspiria, great score. Deep Red, great score. Tenebrae,
Yep.
but you got to pick one, and it's Tenebrae for me.
And I liked Inferno too, even though that wasn't him.
Yeah.
So
Tenebrae is just like this booming, like, ooh, it really gets you
yeah,
pumped.
I
When that
remember.
music is playing, when you're seeing the book at the beginning in the fireplace,
Ah,
and then it plays again during that great shot going up the building
hell yeah,
when the two lesbians are murdered.
yeah,
That's when it's playing again. Oh man, the score is just amazing.
yeah, yep,
That score is amazing.
yeah.
What do you guys think in the chat? What's your favorite score?
Annette said hers was Tenebrae. I think
Yeah.
Jack said his was Tenebrae too. But man, Deep Red is so good. I almost said Deep Purple again. Deep Red is so
Deep
good.
Red is really good. Yeah.
And I love Suspiria.
Yep.
It's definitely, in my opinion, the creepiest.
Yeah. I think the creepiest are actually Suspiria and Phenomena. Because they have like these like extra like groans and voices, and you know what I mean? Like those like
Yep.
It's like that fantastical kind of like voices in it.
Yeah, Suspiria is so good. Oh my lord. Yeah. All right. What do we got next? What do you want to do next? We did.
Dan says Suspiria. Let's do. All right, let's do best opening next. What was your favorite opening?
Inferno.
Once again, we agree. It's got to be Inferno.
Inferno.
It's the underwater sequence.
My God.
Hard to top that one. Now let's be honest. Suspiria opening kills are iconic.
Oh, they're great.
So I mean, it's up there. The Phenomena opening kill is amazing. I love that.
Yep.
Tenebrae, great. But the Inferno underwater sequence
is amazing.
I mean, the way it was even filmed, I mean, she's actually underwater. I mean, it's not like this. It's not CGI. Like she's literally swimming underwater all that time.
And you get more clues in that beginning.
Yep.
Because you're so worried about what she finds and her finding her keys, you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
So he kind of drug his balls out for that one too.
Yep. I think it's like it's also very like nerve-wracking because you see her under this water and it's like, is she gonna be able to get up in time to take a breath? Is she gonna be able to get out of there? Like I mean, seriously. It's like she's looking for the Titanic down there.
Yeah. Yeah, Suspiria opening is great. Yeah. Yeah, Inferno, and that agrees. It's just so beautiful. All the colors, the water. It's pretty amazing.
The fact that she's wearing a white T-shirt.
That too. That doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
She gets naked in Midnight Express anyway. And then she's in Puppet
So
Master.
does he.
Then she's in Puppet Master.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, Annette says Inferno.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's do most underrated.
You're gonna have to go first because of what I said earlier.
All right, I got to go with Dracula.
Okay.
I will say Mother of Tears is a close second. But I'm gonna go with Dracula because Dracula is his lowest rated movie.
Yes.
And it should not be as low as it's rated. I really think this is like influence. People are seeing other people's negative reviews and they're like, "Oh my god, it must be awful." And it's not.
Okay, originally I had one that was very close and I said whatever Joe says, I'm going to go with the other one, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to speak up for Dracula again because I think it deserves it. And I'm going to go with Dracula as well because it does deserve it. It's
interesting.
I'm not even going to say it's not as bad as people say because it's not a bad movie at all. I just don't get the overall hate for it. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's got to be Dracula for me. I was going to say The Card Player if he said Dracula, and I'm pretty sure he was, but even though I love the card player and it is underrated, Dracula is his most underrated movie because it gets crapped on all the time.
Yeah.
And majorly too. So
I mean, people like laugh about it. People like
yeah.
hate it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just like this is his work. People like genuinely hate that movie, and
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
But then again, they also, I was talking to you about this the other night. They actually hate Phantom of the Opera too.
Yeah.
And
It seems they hate what's not a giallo.
Yeah.
And even Suspiria has giallo elements. So
yeah.
That's a good one, Jack. Yep. Phantom of the Opera. That's definitely underrated for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's underrated too. I don't get the hate for it. There's a lot of fun stuff in Phantom of the Opera. I love the car that catches the rats.
Yeah.
The little thing that they made.
Yeah.
That thing is great.
Let's do let's do best nude scene next.
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You go first. What do you go for best nude scene?
Mine is going to be, we're going to mention Dracula again because we're going to go with Dario Argento's bath scene. I think she's gorgeous, and yeah, I'm not going to hide it. She's gorgeous, and her body is freaking phenomenal. So
why don't you mention another one? Because I'm going to mention two.
Okay.
Get another one?
We'll get in trouble for that one. Let's see.
Nope. Yeah, don't say trauma.
Actually, they're probably both from Dracula or Mother of Tears. Mother of Tears has a lot of great nudity in it.
It does.
Yeah, Mother of Tears will be my second.
Okay.
The girl that plays the Mother of Tears.
Yeah.
My God.
Mater, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mater.
All right. So I'm gonna mention two. Because the first one you mentioned was a bathtub. I'm gonna mention the bathtub scene in Four Flies and Grey Velvet. Only because I think that chick is super cute.
She is.
And I remember when we were watching it, we're like, all right, she needs to get in the bath with him, and then she did. And it was just like
she heard you or something.
It was like perfect timing. Yeah. But I seriously, I just think she's she's really cute. Like she's just a really cute girl. So that's a good one for me. And my other one is going to be the opening scene in Dracula.
Oh, Tanya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just like so explicit and it's so early on. It's like, holy crap. It didn't take long at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
So that's good. Those are going to be my two. Yeah. I you know what? And just because it's a fun topic, Ozia and Phantom of the Opera, because that's one of the most graphic of all the nude scenes, just because of it's from behind and it's like an invasive angle. Yeah. So
like
why not?
Yeah. There's a bunch of, I mean, it just goes the guy's girlfriend and Bird, gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it just goes on and on.
All right, let's do best villain.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm going to give two because of what we talked about earlier.
I will too then.
The most heinous villain in any of the movies, I think, is the killer and the rapist from the Stendhal Syndrome. That guy is creepy as hell. He enjoys it way too much. And it's almost traumatizing because part of his MO is not only to rape them, but to shoot them in the side of the face. Yeah. It's just really, really awful. Yeah. So, and the other one I'm going to go with, because we talked about it earlier, and I did not realize it was the same character, is going to be the guy from Giallo.
Yellow.
I thought Adrian Brody did a fantastic job.
Okay.
He fooled me. It's not that hard, but he fooled me.
All right, I'm going to name two too, and for different reasons, because let me go with this first. So I'm going to go with the killer in Phenomena for being shocking.
Yes.
Because like Jack said, no one really saw that coming.
Nope.
And when it's revealed, it's like, whoa, what is that? So it's kind of,
Yeah.
and then you kind of go back and like, okay, this makes sense with the weapon of choice and that sort of thing. And
Right.
that's really cool. Now, coming into tonight, I had something a little different picked for this category because I'm trying to figure out what's my favorite villain. What I decided to do is I decided to go with my favorite look of a villain. So I went with my favorite mask. And that would be the killer in Four Flies on Grey Velvet.
Makes sense. It makes
Because
sense.
I love that mask.
I do too.
It's so simple but so creepy.
It is. And the creepy things in his movies are always happy things. Did you ever notice that?
Yep. Yep.
The little guy running across in deep red, he's just a happy, cute little bastard.
Yeah, but it's creepy as hell.
Oh my God. Hell yeah.
Jack, that's awesome. Jack's gonna watch Dracula. I think we talked Dan into it too earlier, so I think we're gonna get some people watching Dracula. Hopefully you guys like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my two for villains.
That's good. We had all different ones. I like that.
Let's do best weapon now to follow that up.
Best weapon was a no-brainer for me. I do love the one in Phenomena because I think it's neat how it kind of clips together.
Yep,
but it's also kind of very
that'll probably be second for me though.
Yeah, second for me.
Yep.
Trauma. The
100%. Mechanical
I
garage.
love that weapon. It was the first thing that kind of turned me on about that film. I was like, oh, this is going to be a badass movie.
And Verge ordered a copy of Dracula too during the live stream.
Damn, hell yeah. I hope you enjoy it. Just people make such a big deal about little things in the film. And for me, and I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah,
not
the CGI is not great, but other than that.
No, but let me tell you something. The praying mantis scene is CGI coming up the steps.
Yeah.
When he is attacking, that is not CGI, that's practical effects.
Yep.
And that's what impressed me so much. I'm like, what the hell are people talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, back to what we were saying, the garrote is amazing.
It is.
If you have guys never seen Trauma, I would urge you to watch that one.
Honestly, the mechanical garrote is so cool that I literally came up with this category because of that.
Yes.
Like I thought of my answer before coming up with the actual category. I was like, I love this mechanical garrote so much that we have to make sure we talk about our favorite weapon in an Argento film, because it is not only in Argento films, I think it's one of the greatest horror movie weapons ever.
Yeah.
Like I would literally rank it up there as one of the greatest horror movie weapons of all time. It's awesome.
You want to hear something funny? So the first time I watched it, I wasn't paying attention in the beginning of the film. And there's that first kill when he walks in there, or when the killer walks in there, and the killer uses the garrote on the lady. I thought it was a tape gun. But then I was like, what the hell's going on? And I see the thing tightening around her throat. I'm like, what the hell? It's just awesome. I would love to have one of those. I mean, I'd never use it for that.
And it's like you can't really escape that. It's like if you get stabbed, you can hope that maybe you'll live. If you get shot, maybe you'll live. You know what I mean? Like there are other things you can do. Like with that, you're done.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. You can't fight back. Like it's so.
Yeah, that one is it's almost like a given. It's definitely a great weapon. And I went through all the other ones and I was like, Mother of Tears had a really good one too. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be used, that pointy thing that the guy had. Yeah. Remember that? Mm-hmm. I like that too, but it just wasn't. The garrote is just amazing.
It is.
Yeah. So we've done that whole.
Let's do favorite female lead.
That's easy for me. Phenomena. It's going to be Jennifer, because I think Jennifer Connelly knocked it out of the park. She was really good in that, and you really sympathize with her in the film.
So that is actually mine too.
Is it really?
I will say a close second for me is Susie Bannion from Suspiria.
Yeah.
Because I think Jessica Harper does a fantastic job, and
I think she does too.
I think she's such a likable female lead.
Yeah.
So I really like her, but Jennifer, the way I put Jennifer above her is that Susie, unfortunately, not because of her own fault. She's pretty much drunk the whole time because of what
Yeah.
they're doing to her. So
Yeah.
she can't really be the
Fight back.
heroine that she until the end. Whereas Jennifer spends the entire movie trying to solve the mystery
Yeah.
and doing what she can to do that. So she's like she's like a true heroine in that sense.
I like the backstory too about her father being a famous actor. I
Me
thought
too.
that was a different kind of dimension to add to a character
Yep.
because she got admiration from her roommate, but
Mhm.
she also got teased and bullied because of the
Yep.
girls in the school. So I thought
Exactly.
that was an interesting dimension of why she's there, because obviously her father has money and can send her to the best schools. But, just that it's just a really odd but really cool thing in the film.
I really like the scene when she met the three Heathers and then Jason Dean in the cafeteria. Oh no, wait a minute, that was
Fucker.
Heather.
She
But
pulled out
yeah.
a 357 and right in the fucking head.
Yeah, Paul Corvino. That's what I said. I was like, hey, it's Paul Sorvino's daughter. Yep, Jennifer Corvino. All right,
And
what about your
we only got
favorite
2 left.
male lead? Is it the same as mine?
I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I think we should add both of them. Because
Yeah,
I think they
I'm gonna
play
mention
off
both.
of each other.
Yeah.
Originally, Joe loves James Franciscus in Cat o' Nine Tails. I happen to love Carl Malden in the Cat o' Nine Tails, but I don't think the film works without the other.
That's why to me that the movie itself is the ultimate final
Yeah,
guy film.
yeah,
Because not only do we have like in a lot of the movies you have like a guy working with like a woman in
yeah,
most of them. In this one, you have two male leads working together to solve
yeah,
the mystery.
and a little
Think about
girl.
it. That's it. Like it's just
Yeah,
the two male leads. Those are, I mean, yeah, and exactly. But at one point, it's like it's really just it's really them. And
yeah.
as I said earlier, James Franciscus, who plays Carlo Giordani in The Cat of Nine Tails, to me he's like a James Bond type
Hell
character.
yeah.
Then you have Carl Malden, who's blind, but is also a badass himself because he
Yes,
used to be a reporter before he lost his sight. So
yes,
now he's able to hear things better and stuff like that and sense things in a different way.
yep,
So it's like Carlo is his eyes and Carl Malden's character is like the other things, and they work together so well.
yeah.
So
You can't have one without the other in that film and make
definitely,
it work.
yeah, favorite male leads in just about anything. I mean, they're
Yeah.
amazing overall. So
And like I told you before, I'm a big fan of the Planet of the Apes franchise. And he had some big shoes to fill with Charlton Heston, but I think he did a damn good job in Beneath Planet of the Apes.
I'm gonna be honest. This also makes me think that I might have to change one of my top three.
What do you mean? Oh,
For one of the categories later on that fits this movie.
yeah, yep.
Because I'm thinking about it, and yeah, this is top three when it comes to that category for me.
Cat o' Nine Tails is freaking phenomenal. It is. It's great.
All right, that brings us to our final category, and that is favorite
Kill.
kill.
Favorite kill.
Now, I think we have this one in common too.
It's mine is Mother of Tears.
Yep, it is the opening kill from Mother of Tears.
It is so brutal.
This is something out of a Hellraiser film.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, the way that it's shot, the way that it looks, it's disgusting and dark and mean-spirited and
brilliant,
grotesque, and
yes.
It looks like the victim is becoming a Cenobite.
Yes.
It's like disturbing. It's a very disturbing kill.
And there are a few of them in that film that could almost go up against it. It's a really well-made film.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that first kill is just, what the hell am I watching?
Yep.
Yeah. And I don't think that there are some mean-spirited kills, don't get me wrong, and there are some very violent, bloody kills. I mean, we're talking about Argento, but that one is just wow.
I said that kill is something very disturbing about it.
Yes. Yep. You and I both, when we watched it, we were like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, it's a brutal, and it's it's scary. It's a scary kill. Like when Azia's character walks in and sees it happening, and the
Yes.
way she sees the figures kill. There's something about it. Just like ooh, it's nightmare
Like I
fuel.
said, it's creepy.
It's
It's
nightmare
freaking
fuel
creepy.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
There is no doubt in my mind.
Yep.
Great villain and good guys wear black. Yeah. James, I always forget he's in
Yeah.
Good Guys Wear Black.
So what do you guys think for favorite kill in the chat?
Yeah. And it can be something simple.
I will
just something
say
that shocked you.
I will say before we watched Mother of Tears, my kill was going to be Tenebrae, the ex-fiance getting her arm chopped off and the blood spraying all over the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the most brutal kills out of all his films, I think.
Yeah. That would have been very close. Although,
insane.
I'll give you a rival. When I don't want to give away anything. When the dude, the thing to the head in Tenebrae.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That one too. And another one I thought of was the killer's death in Deep Red.
Yes.
It's it's the white crap that comes out of the mouth. I don't know.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
Yeah, like Jack said, the axe kill. Well, there's a few axe kills in Tenebrae, but
oh hell yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the Dan says the arm chop in Tenebrae. Yep, that's the one that that was my original choice before we watched Mother of Tears. When we watched Mother of Tears, I was like, yep, I got to change it to this because that kill that stuck with me.
It's brutal. It's something that you don't see in every movie.
I just like I said, there's something about the way it's shot or something though too. It's just very, very creepy.
They pulled out all the stops. I'm sure that special effect that they used on that one kill was probably half the budget right there.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Oof.
And it just came out of nowhere too.
It did.
You're like, okay, I expect to see messed up kills in an Argento film, but that
you expected it to cut away at some point and then it just didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like she's killed, like it's almost like she's killed multiple times. Like the damage is done and they keep going. It's like Jesus.
We're not satisfied yet.
That's why it feels like Hellraiser. It feels like are they turning her into a Cenobite?
Yep.
Like she's like turned inside out. Like I don't know.
I agree.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Annette, the peephole kill in opera. By the way, I just want to point out, and I was expecting this to happen. 12 categories, and you didn't pick opera for one of them.
I know.
And that's your favorite.
Well, let me tell you something. Before we saw Mother of Tears, you know what mine was? I told you what mine was.
Which one?
The peephole kill.
The people. That's what Annette just said.
Yeah.
Annette just said the people.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
But then I saw Mother of Tears again, and I was just like, okay. It's brilliant.
It really is.
Yeah. I mean, he's got kills in all of his other movies where knives go up, where you can see them in somebody's chin, and axes to the head, lopping off heads.
I mean, the Suspiria opening kills are also iconic. It's hard not to mention those. When she comes crashing through the glass and she hangs, and the other girl gets impaled by the glass that falls.
Yep.
It's so iconic. But
the glass.
Oh yeah, Phenomena too. Exactly.
Yeah.
The Phenomena with the weapon through the back of her head through the mouth.
Yep.
But
yep.
I'm sorry, but none of them compare to that Mother of Tears kill.
Yeah, no. That was on a different level right there. That's when I know I was like, damn, he ain't playing around.
Yeah.
He ain't messing around with this one. So
and and in addition to that, Dracula had some great kills too. And the Dracula kills were very like a fun over the top. Like not in a bad way. Like Dracula's ripping this dude's head off. The guy who like is forced to shoot himself. Like all that, there's some really good stuff in there.
Didn't he rip the face skin off of one person?
Yep.
Yeah. And just to say, a majority of the effects in there were practical. The only ones that I can see that were CGI was when Dracula put up his wrist in order to make another one, and he slit his wrist, or when the vampire did, and you saw the blood run down. You could obviously see that was fake. But pretty much all of the stuff in there is practical, even when it came down to the praying mantis kill. So yeah, it was just.
I will say this too about it. And sometimes you watch something, and then the next time you watch it, it's either worse than you remember or better than you remember. Typically.
Yeah.
it was better than I remembered. Like watching it, like when we watched it the first time, me and you were like, "Oh yeah, look at the CGI blood." We didn't really like that.
Yeah.
When I watched it the second time, I was like, "Oh, that's not as bad as I remembered it." Like it's
Nah,
still noticeable, but it was like, "Oh, that wasn't
it's
that
not
bad."
that bad.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
lot of
So
them, even
yeah,
Rob Zombie does stuff like that.
yeah, yeah.
So
Sometimes
it's
you
not
just got
that
to
bad.
do it. Yeah.
It's not that bad. It's an early CGI, and I think that's why people had a problem with it. But if you had a problem with the stuff in Dracula, then the Stendhal syndrome, where she takes those pills, you might as well forget it.
Listen, what my case all the time for this is people will watch Marvel film after Marvel film, and it
Yeah.
looks like you're watching a damn video game because there's
Yep.
so much CGI,
Yep.
and nobody bats an eye. But then you throw a little CGI in a horror movie, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it should be practical." Like I get, yeah,
Yep.
it's cool. See, I prefer practical as well, but
Yeah.
I'm not
Every
gonna
day of the
hate a
week.
movie because it has CGI. It's
Yeah.
silly,
Yep.
especially when the majority of it is practical.
Yeah. Like I said, he did things practically that he didn't have to do in that film,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of impressed me. And the
Yeah.
one, of course, I'm talking about the most is a praying mantis.
Yep.
I did not expect that to be a practical kill, and when it was, I was like, hell yeah.
It's a good one too. Like I like the sound it
Yeah.
makes and it twists.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
Yep.
Good kill.
I we have our theories about Dracula and why it's hated so much. I mean, to be honest, I think it's a bandwagon thing.
Oh, for sure.
It's fashionable to say that Dracula is a big piece of crap, and Argento lost his luster. But I'm telling you something, his films were from, and I've said this before, his films were from a time and place. Bird, Four Flies, Cat, Suspiria, they were all from a time and place that will never happen again.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he doesn't have the talent, because he clearly does, because I love a lot of his later films.
He's also in his 80s. I mean, you got
Yes.
to cut the guy some slack now, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But, it was just a different time. It was a different time.
I mean, we've gotten multiple masterpieces from this guy.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's like people still want to complain about Dracula and Phantom of the Opera. It's like, come on.
Mm-hmm. I still think that's because of the fantasy aspect, and it's not giallo or a slasher movie, per se.
Yeah, no, I agree because like even Mother of Tears gets some hate, and that's the most supernatural of the three
Yeah,
mothers
it is.
because Suspiria and Inferno both have giallo aspects to them. Suspiria
Yep.
most, Inferno a little bit less, and then Mother of Tears even less than that. So you know what I mean? So even Suspiria and Inferno, you can say, they do have giallo elements to them because they do. I mean, like when people are getting killed in those movies, it's very very giallo-esque.
Yeah.
Whereas Mother of Tears, it's a different kind of kills. But look, ended up being our favorite kill out of all the Argento films. It wasn't even a
Yeah.
giallo.
Man, male lead was very hard for me because he did pick some great people. I mean,
Yeah.
Adrian Brody, Max von Sydow.
Yeah, he was close, Adrian Brody.
I know. He picked some really good ones. For favorite male lead, I like the guy from Bird with the Crystal Plumage.
I like the guy in Four Flies. I mean,
yeah, me too.
So they're
extremely likable people.
James Franciscus and Carl Malden are like another level.
They make that film. That film without
it's
them,
like you said, it's like a buddy cop movie, only they're reporters.
Yep.
Like a buddy horror film. Buddy giallo.
Yeah, I love Cat of Nine Tails. It's such a good movie. And there's so many of them here that I could put on again and not bat an eye. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm glad we did this.
I'm a bit sad that it's over because we put so much into this.
Yeah. We even tried to extend it a little bit, and we did. But by watching Creepers and the Hatchet Murders, and we could have left it as it was, but I don't know.
Van Helsing, Rob. Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer, my man. My main man. Yeah.
I love the chick that plays Mina. Man, she was another cutie.
Yes. Yeah, you liked her a lot.
She just, I don't know. Yeah. She just, because she's not like overly like.
Yeah.
Like she's like a natural beauty. You know what I mean? She's not like overly made up or anything like that.
Yeah. I was more the Lucy. I was Team Lucy in that one.
Well, we see so much of Ozia that it's like, okay, like not to take anything away from her, we've seen so much of her over the years that I think with Mina, it was like, okay, it's a nice new addition to the Argento lineup.
I still don't understand, and it baffles me how the father can, film that kind of stuff. Not that it's a different country. There are a different set of rules. She's an actress.
I mean, I'm not complaining because we get to see it too, but it's
Yeah.
like, why is it necessary to always film his daughter naked?
Yeah. And he doesn't always do it, but it's more so than not. Like, you know what the weirdest thing is? Stendhal probably has less nudity than anything. And it's the most sleazy movie out of the entire bunch.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Mm.
Because you don't really get to see all that much of her in that movie.
Briefly, yeah, just briefly.
Yeah,
Like one
very
scene.
briefly.
Yep.
Yeah. You figure they could have gone the other way with that film. It would have been, yeah.
I'm trying to think. Are there any movies of his where she's not naked other than like Mother of Tears? So I think she's naked in all of them.
Pretty much. Oh, yeah.
Right?
I think the only other movie I've seen with her in it that she wasn't naked is The Church.
No, I'm saying Argento.
Yeah.
I'm saying like Argento's directed movies.
Yeah.
I think she's naked in all of them except Mother of Tears because she's not naked in that, right?
Nope.
That's the only one.
Yep.
No, Dark Glasses.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Yep.
Shit, I didn't even recognize her. I'm not surprised.
Well, yeah, she's much older in that, obviously. That was only from a couple of years ago. So
yeah. I really like that movie. I think people are really missing out that kind of call that movie a garbage film. I really think they're missing out.
Oh, it's definitely not a garbage film.
Yeah. He hasn't made one yet, so according to us anyway. But
yeah, Rob. Dark Glasses 2022. Some good nudity in that one too.
Yeah. It's an interesting plot too, which is weird because it's just a really weird plot.
I feel like the main plot isn't even the slasher element. I feel like that's like the subplot. I feel like the you know what I mean? Like the main story is actually the relationship between the two main characters.
Yeah, I agree.
Whereas the killing part of it is secondary. It's like that comes because of something else.
But what's so weird about that film is the shitty luck. I mean, you have an impairment at first, and then after a third of the movie goes by, it's complete impairment.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, sucks to be her. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Demons 2. Ah, okay.
Yep, she's in that.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. A long time. You and I have watched Demons a few times, but
Demons we're gonna be watching all 11 Demons movies at some point.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Got them all down there. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did this.
I've been really looking forward to this. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this.
Me too.
Like I said, it really is sad that it's over now. This was great.
Yeah.
But, 2 weeks from today, guys, we'll be doing our 2024 horror ranking, probably.
Yay!
So stay tuned for that.
Providing, of course, I'm able to locate a copy of Nosferatu, and you too, for that matter, because
Walmart will have that one for sure.
You think so?
Oh, without a doubt. It's too big.
No, man.
Walmart will definitely have it.
I'm definitely going out and getting that.
Yeah, I'm going to get that Tuesday. Tuesday for sure. Then we can finish up and get that ranking done.
Get back to
doing what we're doing.
The nasties.
Yep.
The nasties. Well, I guess
Super Bowl weekend. Football weekend.
Who cares? Pull up all weekend. I don't care. I don't care about that game. I'm not even going to watch it.
Annette said she is off to rewatch Trauma. Awesome. Go enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really interesting film. It definitely has more than I thought. There's more value to it than, of course, that gets credit, I think. But
yeah, Dan, we got about like 8 or 9 left to do for our ranking. We're going to be ranking about 31, I think.
Yeah.
31 movies. And thank you, Rob. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, dude. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, I figured we were watching so many of them, we might as well just freaking do them all.
Yeah.
Hey, why not?
Yep.
Plus, this is the kind of stuff I love talking about anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah. Fulci. Got to be sometime this year.
We wanted to do Bava, too.
Yeah. I'd love to do Bava. And since I just got that one, not the last piece, but one of the pieces that I'm missing.
Thank you,
Danger
Jack.
Diabolic, which I really want to watch. You know, they got an MS3K version of it, so I don't know if I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, anymore, but I don't know. I mean, if it gets an MS3K, it's probably not a great film, but it's all right. Thank you, Jack.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. We enjoyed this. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun making our way through the nasties.
Yeah. Some of them, but a majority of them, like I said, if someone's going to collect them, and I love to see your collection, Rob. The video was awesome. Some of them,
yeah,
a little rough.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Jack, I hope you enjoy Dracula.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. Remember, physical media matters.
Yeah, physical media matters.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.